Hi! Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome on in. Hi Neil. Hi Neil. Hi Sammy, thank you very much for the 8-1 free subby, my goodness. Bard, hello. Honk. Honk. Abby spotted. Where'd she go? Where is she? Huh. Where is Abby? I can't see an Abby. Hiya, Rubes. How's everyone?
Honkers.
Honkers. Bard, 13 home runs, my goodness. Thank you. And I have a hype train going. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I just started streaming though. Oh, you're all so lovely. Well, welcome on, everybody. Happy New... It's the start of a new week. Choo-choo. I hope you've had a fabulous weekend, and... generally, I just hope you're all having, like, doing well in general. Y'all are great. You're doing okay? Halfway coughing up a lung, though. Don't do that. I recommend not doing that. Not coughing up a lung sounds amazing. You sleepy? Well... Oops, you're either wide awake or very sleepy, but that can be good for anyone else though, right? That'd be great. You just loaf? No, you're a good loaf. The best of loaves. Everyone here is a great loaf. Wilson! Yahoo! Welcome, welcome! How you doing? Hey chat. We need to get shoutouts going for people. We'll wait for more folk to drop on in. You're at work, but you have yogurt. What kind of yogurt have you got? Yogurt? 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 Yogurt! Yeah, what kind of yogurt have you got? I like raspberry. Or, peach. Peach and raspberry. You're just yippee. Oh no, you're just a little creature. Aww. We like the creatures here. Gotta get for a meeting soon, but I appreciate you. Aw, Wilson, you're a sweetie. For real, everyone is. Everyone is great. Vanilla fruit and granola. Ooh, I love granola with yogurt. Yogurt, like, adding crunch to yogurt is amazing. Like, one of the best things you can do. Abby, Babby, Abby, Babby. Hi, Mandy. Can I do the wiggly too? I kinda can. Oh crap, that's making me dizzy. Oh, that does not. Oh crap, I'm a little. Whoa, woozy. Deep breath. We're good. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Welcome on, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Chill Tuesday. It's a media share stream. Look, it's just gonna be a vibe today because I'm too tired to do anything really. I could have done a. We could have done some games, maybe some Cobalt Call, maybe some Isaac. But I think we're just gonna maybe watch video. Watch some videos. There's folk like my Discord people and I'm posting some really interesting looking like just videos to share. And we're just gonna chill and vibe with those. I mean, I need to chill today. Because I had an office day. Ugh. Yeah, I'm a janitor. I just wanna clean. I just wanna clean. Not sit in meetings and do paperwork. Ugh, gross. I would suggest Warframe, but that's the polar opposite of what you want. Nah, I'm passing on Warframe. Again. Oh, Warframe. I just don't have a... I can't get into a mindset for a lot of games. It's like my issue right now. And Warframe's like one of those kind of things. Like, I just get... Oh, there's so many cool and popular things, but I'm like, no, I'm too tired. Like, I have no strength. Oh, not even strength. The desire to grind. My cat woke me up this morning by getting her claw caught on one of my piercings and almost... I... That's a brand new sentence. Can I say, though, as somebody who has had her tit ripped off, the hype train's gone. Better luck next time. Nah, don't be like that, Twitch. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on the hype train. Y'all are amazing. As somebody who is, yeah, who has had titty rip because of piercings. Not because of cats, but because of piercing. It kind of sucks. It sucks big time. It's horrible. Boobaless indeed. Not Boobaloo. Oh my goodness, Boobaloo? Anybody remember Boobaloo? Boobaloo? Do we still do Boobaloo? No, it's Bubbaloo. Oh, I thought I called it Boobaloo. Boobaloo. Bubbaloo. Wild. Hi, Ruby Wee. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Oh, I think I mentioned this. I've told my story of like when I almost lost a nip, right? To do piercings. And it's literally just like, hey, don't wear sports bras. But I need to exercise. Don't wear sports bras. Fine. It's not exciting. It's literally just, hey, start taking my sports bra off. And oh, all that elastic that holds on and gives you support and stops him whiplashing and smacking you in the face. Kind of detrimental. So, it just kind of, so with elastic, it just kind of boing. Except it's more like a whip and just cut through the nip. Or rather, it pulled a piercing through the nip, like through the nip. Hang on, can I like? I think a good way to like explain it is like. I think a good way to like put it is like, you know when you have like scissors and like wrapping paper, and the wrapping paper just gets caught on the scissors just right, where it kind of just glides. Yeah, that's what happened. When it's like pull a bra forward and over the tits, well, I should have done that. Oh wait, no, that is what I tried. That is what I did. The thing is, it still pulls up a tiny bit. This is like if I'm ever gonna get sports bra again, I'm gonna get the kind of like, hey, let's get a zipper in the front. The kind that you kind of like a jacket. The high impact type. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I have no need. I have no need for a sports bra anymore because I'm fucking lazy. And even if I do need to do exercise, I have an exercise bike. That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah, no, it's horrible. I don't like... Just chat. Yeah, look after your nip-nops. And if you get... Fucking Vex. Look after your nip-nops. And if you have to... Or if you do have, like... If you do wear, like... very tight clothing. While they're healing, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't. I'd recommend you don't. But put some, like, some plasters over them. And band-aids. A little bit of gauze and... Not even gauze. Yes, a little bit of gauze and, like, medical tape. Just look after them. Give them some padding. Make something else pull off first. Look after your nip knots? Yeah, look after your nip knot. If your nip knobs look like they look different, go get them checked out. We need happy nip knobs only. And Ruby, I'm not missing your message. I'm doing great, thank you. Besides, very EP. I'm always EP though. No, I'm just tired. It's been a long day. I don't like getting up this like as early as I did today. But I am excited. We have a real chill week this week. A lot of variety, including like the most low-effort content on Twitch, which is just media sharing. We're gonna do some Mafia and Hunger on Thursday. And Pizza Tower. Y'all ready to get funky? And we finally, to round off the week, we need some more Gunpla. I've not done Gunpla in a while. It's been like I think like a couple of months. But we're gonna do a bit of Gunpla. We're gonna do some. We're gonna build like Gundam Ilfreef. Yeah, the Ilfreef Ur, which is so pretty. It's so pretty. What doing? What doing? What doing today? It's Chill Tuesday, Ruby. We're just vibing. I have some like video essays that y'all have submitted in the Discord, which, hang on, that's a command I should re-enable. We have there's a Discord channel where I share, well, y'all share with me stuff you want me to like watch and stream. And hang on. Let me enable the command. There we go. There you go. We have a Discord. I have a Discord you can come find me in and vibe. And you can just submit videos we're gonna watch. Like last week. What did we watch? What did we watch last week? Damn, I can't remember. I have a short-term memory. Well, it's not even short-term. Is it week? Does not being able to like remember what you did last week count as short-term? Or am I just an old woman? Am I old? Old? I'm probably old. Yeah, holy McCoy! Welcome. What's happening to Bean? Not much. Bit of up dog. What's happening to you, McCoy? I think it's the ADHD. I'm gonna say yes. But no, because I'm clinically not diagnosed with ADHD. God, I can look. I'm so mad still. I was so desperate for that diagnosis to like get some good advice and get some good news and like maybe some help. And then it's like, hey, you're perfectly normal. You are perfectly normal. I was like, hang on. I spent all my effort trying to concentrate and get ready for this, because this is something I actually cared for. And there's one period of time where I was very good and looking after myself. I was like, nah, you're good. Also for real, oh god, I hate those sentences. But I look after myself, and I keep focused. Also, I eat, which helps. A psychiatrist said it's just because as you get older, you have more shit to remember, and it's way less interesting. Yeah. The only thing that I need to remember is 21st night of December. All we remember, happy day. Badia. Say that you remember. Badia. We should watch some videos. Holy fuck, it was a mix of shit posts and actual, like, video essays. I didn't know what to go with first. What the hell is this thumbnail? This might be a bit too much for me to watch. I will say, I'm not gonna do shorts, because shorts is like one hell of a thing. Like he's not watching one shorts, I mean, he's watching like 10,000. What the hell have y'all y'all submitted some wild stuff. Mostly my mods. Or rather, mostly one of my mods. Era, are you in chat right now? Let's see, it can't be that bad. It probably won't be that bad. Oh my goodness, I love talking to you, VBridger person. VBridge is working again! I figured it out. I just have to set up like a local server on VTube Studio. And that is enough to be a, like... Essentially, okay, it's just enough. It's just enough. It's just enough. Also, I might crack open a cold one. Crack open a cold one. But boys, am I right, gamers? Let's get into op. Let's open up Opera. Change screen to ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. Hey chat, did you know I have a YouTube channel? I have a YouTube channel. You can come watch my VODs on here. You go honk honk. I am not very creative at like naming these videos, but we're good. We're good. We're good streams. The God of War one, everything's in playlists too. And by everything, I mean the few things I've done are in playlists. A few things I've done since redebuting. I'm interested with a Wheel of Mature Cheddar this Tuesday. Kevin, I ain't into cheese. Yeah, I'm not into cheese. Not especially not with cheddar. God, cheddar makes me upset. Okay, let's... Only because I love this one, we can start with this.
Remy, come. Remy, sit. Speak. Good boy.
Oh. Oh, when whenever I tab out, something just happened. Era, I'm not gonna watch all of these. I'm not gonna watch all of these. There's so much to watch. Era, you posted so much. Okay, yeah, if you want to go on my Discord and post some video essays, I'll be down for that. Wait, McCoy also posted like a ton. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what? I'm having a can of soda right now. Let's watch it.
An Irishman, a Canadian, and an American each buy a can of Mountain Dew only to find a dead mouse inside. The Irishman says, "These Americans sure put some..."
Hang on, just a proof to you, I am actually drinking soda. Or will be. Caramel. Mountain Dew, every energy drink? Is Mountain Dew a real energy drink? Is Mountain Dew a real energy drink? No, it's not. It's an abomination. The only energy drink I like is the Boomer Juice. And I can live with Boomer Juice. Context, Boomer Juice is it's a zero sugar monster.
Some crap in their food and drink as he throws the can in the bin. The Canadian removes the mouse and drinks the rest of his soda. Likewise, the American also removes the mouse and then yells, "Spit it out, you thieving git!" Believe it or not, this is a true story. Well, I may have taken some artistic license.
I am a Boomer Juice enjoyer, but I don't actually like Monster Energy drink. The only one I like is Pipeline Punch.
Pepsi after claiming to find a mouse carcass in a can of Mountain Dew. And like many of Pepsi's legal woes, the company...
I will say though, sadly, I'm not drinking Pepsi. Sorry, I'm not drinking Beppis or Conk. No, I'm having Tesco's Finest. Tesco's Finest. I would like that one, wouldn't you? I know. I just like I just like Fruit Punch. Fruit Punch is just really yummy. Didn't they do like didn't they do like a didn't they do like a Rubes? Didn't they? I'm guessing you like the Formula 1 one, right? That's an oxymoron. There's nothing fine about Tesco. There is nothing whatsoever, but Tesco's fucking affordable. Well, it is, after you sell them all your details.
He would come out of the lawsuit with some egg on their face. On
Egg.
November 10th, 2008, Ronald Ball was at his workplace when he got a can of Mountain Dew from the vending machine.
Ugh.
After
Also,
taking
it's a little
sip,
bit of
he
a Miss Coke
noticed
now.
a funny taste, well, more so than usual, that made him violently ill. After throwing up, he poured the contents of the can out into a styrofoam cup, and lo and behold, there was a little dead mouse. Now, I fondly remember getting the little toys out of the cereal box. We had a whole collection of the statuettes.
Oh, I
from the
remember
Phantom
these.
Menace. But something tells me they weren't intentionally putting dead mice in soda cans. It'd be too expensive for a start. Ball thought similarly and called up the number on the can to inform Mountain Dew's owners, Pepsi, that there
Wait,
was
is
a
Pepsi
dead
owned
mouse in
Mountain
his
Dew?
can and they should probably call a halt on the production line. Very naive thinking there, Ronald. Obviously, Pepsi didn't do that. Instead, Ball claims a Pepsi representative showed up like the Men in Black to take the mouse carcass away, an action he now believes was taken simply to destroy the evidence. When nothing more came of the incident...
Okay, I have a similar tale about this. It's a very similar tale. Like, it doesn't involve a dead mouse. It may have done somewhere down the line. That one time, I opened up some fine Bombay mix. If you're not from the UK, Bombay mix is like, think of like deep fried peanuts, like bits of noodles, gram flour and stuff. It's like a snack mix, but it's Indian. There's Indian spices in there. You get some chili, you get some curry powder, some garam masala, lime, really yummy stuff. Opened it up one time. I reckon, wait, those aren't deep fried peas. Those aren't deep fried peas. Oh. Yeah, those are rat droppings. You know what I did? Because I'm not a little bitch. I just threw the whole thing in the bin and questioned my life choices till that moment.
Ronald Ball did what any true American...
And just as an important side note, onto that. Yeah, every single... Well, I know the US definitely does. The UK does as well. The UK does as well. Maybe Canada. And maybe other parts of Europe. But every sort of food, drink, or whatever administration you'll have. I know the FDA is like the big one. There's a certain limit. Percentage, I don't know, it's like by volume, by weight. There's some percentile of acceptable amounts of rat droppings because it's impossible to keep, like, prevent entirely. Bear that in mind. Also, bread is kind of similar, because I think it was like a certain percentage of, like, not all breads are vegan, technically, because there's always a chance you may find bug bits in the flour, which does not get filtered out. I know that, because I ate a grasshopper once. It was inside my Morrison's Finest Granary loaf. Oh. A fun, depressing game to play whenever you getting any drink of any kind. Check the label to see who owns it. You've eaten worse, McCoy? What is worse than just eating rat poop? All that extra protein? No. There's no protein in rat poop. Oh, what you mean the grasshopper? Yeah, that's just free protein. In some parts of the world, it's a delicacy. That's a scene you're never meant to see.
American would do, he lawyered up and sued. The case was made a few months later in 2009 in which Ball sought $75,000 in damages. Seems a bit of a low price for ingesting dead mouse fluids. I've seen game shows offer way more money for the same thing. So what was Pepsi's response?
Fear Factory.
Their standards of hygiene in the plant made it
help him a celebrity.
For such a thing to occur that a certified...
I do not eat rat poop. I do not eat rat poop. I opened up a bag of Bombay mix and found rat poop in there. Threw the whole bag away. Never ate anything. Never ate a single thing. Just open it up, threw it out. Now, whenever I get a bag of Bombay mix, I pour a little bit out and examine a selection. No eat. Check, then eat. What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't on me. No, please, no, for real. If you don't, no, I do not eat. Look, there's a certain amount of rat poop that you're allowed to have in food. Hang on. U.S. rat poop percentage. Food. Oh, the big old thing in me, the big one for the U.S. Very quarter cup of cornmeal. The FDA allows 1 whole insect, 2 or more rodent hairs, and 50 insect fragments. Ugh. Gross. This is what you're allowed to have. This is the saddest episode of Gundam you could ever describe. Get him a Gundam Abbey. Otherwise, I have to eat rat poop again. No! Oh, no. Blah. Ham's so full of insect fragments. Yum. I mean, insect bits aren't even that bad. Insect bits aren't even... Just watch the fucking video, right?
Biochemist overlooked production and personally inspected each batch and kept records of the analysis. No, Pepsi brought in a science
What
expert
Gundam
to
would
say
I
it
pilot?
was impossible Ronald Ball found a mouse in his Mountain Dew because that can had been bottled 15 months before he drank it.
Excuse me? The rat was just pickling in the dew? Oh, mouse pickle dew.
And in that time, a mouse would have been dissolved in the drink. Citrus sodas have a pH of around 3, meaning they're very acidic, and all that would have been left of the mouse was a jelly-like substance.
Ugh.
That's not exactly the bulletproof defensive product Pepsi probably thought it was. Seems like winning the battle at the cost of losing the war. I would have just paid this guy his 75 grand rather than say something
Honestly,
like that.
yeah.
Oh, a rodent might get mixed up in the bottling process at some point, but it's okay because the drink is so corrosive you won't even notice. A jelly-like substance.
Pepsi, that's worse? No, I mean, it's true. I need to double check this, but like, there used to be like a fact. I think people like a certain age will have heard this like fact that I think like I think most millennials might know this, but like apparently like after the LA riots, fuck the police, apparently like a lot of people to clear up blood would use Coca-Cola. But according to Snopes, that is false. Great. Does anybody else hear that? Like when you're growing up, the fact that they use blood to clear up blood from... Sorry, they use blood to clean blood. Now, they use cola to clear blood from crime scenes. It's kind of like, hey, if you smell toast, and nobody's making toast, you might be having a stroke. That kind of deal.
Jesus, Pepsi, you're really selling this, aren't you? Why don't you slap that little slogan on the can? It's only marginally more sickening than it'll tickle your innards. The mouse's innards were certainly tickled all the way down your esophagus. God almighty, I'm gonna retch. When Pepsi's defense became public knowledge, it spread like wildfire, to the point it was almost common knowledge. I'd hazard a guess a good percentage of you have actually heard of this case before because
I have never heard of this.
The public was disgusted. Not
Ew.
enough to actually stop buying the shite, but it did harm the company's reputation, although not enough to leave a lasting or significant impact on the company's stock price.
Incredible.
Every consumer could witness Pepsi Man burst down their front door, kill their mother, and
Pepsi
kick their
Man.
dog out the window, and they'd still have a Pepsi for breakfast the next morning. Some experts were a bit skeptical of Pepsi's claims, though. While being immersed in Mountain Dew would certainly do a number on a mouse's body, and the term jelly-like substance was probably quite accurate, things like the fur and the tail might survive long enough that you could still tell there was some sort of rodent in your drink. according to some of the experts. We never really found out if this could have been the case though, as in 2012 Pepsi settled with Ronald Ball out of court before they ever made it to trial. It's not known how much they gave him, and it's also not known if they did this because they feared the experts may have been right, or because they didn't want to be in all the headlines saying their drink can dissolve bodies again, having seen how much of a field day the media had the first time. So really they got the worst of both scenarios. They told the world
Clean blood may have been in why still? No, it's acidic enough it can clean.
And the world was listening.
You can also just dissolve teeth. If you like leave Coke in teeth overnight, it will just like dissolve them.
And they chose both. So if you ever have a rodent problem, leave some Mountain Dew lying around and that'll sort them out with extreme fucking prejudice. Or if you ever need to dispose of a body, buy a few packs of Mountain Dew. A few rat packs, if you will. Well, if you liked this video, I have many more in a similar style. I even have a few more covering Pepsi's legal escapades. Actually, after yours truly, Pepsi has somehow become...
Well, what are you watching? The Pepsi Mouse lawsuit.
It's getting to the point
by
now where
Quixer.
they might want to threaten legal action against me. But I'm not overly worried. Given their history, the trial would probably end up with me as a millionaire and Pepsi having accidentally revealed their...
Is Pepsi the Pinkertons?
...remains of Hitler. I make a new video every week, so subscribe if you'd like to see them as they come out, and why not follow me on Twitter and buy some of my merch.
The PepsiCo Battle Fleet? What is a PepsiCo Battle Fleet?
Stay safe.
Okay, I need to check some of this stuff, Ives.
Oh, beautiful Sal was a stone-hearted gal.
Yeah, that might be a bit too much for Twitch. What else have we got? I know we have a fair bit. World's Scariest Genius. Like... McCoy? Is that Falco? Oh, it's a song. I'm not listening. I'm not going to just like listen to music on stream. It's kind of weird.
This is Alexander Carolyn, a man whose athletic ability can only be
Falco from Star Fox?
as
Yeah, it's like a very...
his incredible...
It's just a very buff and kind of handsome Falco. I can't even tell what part of that body is. It is, though. Oh, wait. That's a man booby. Pectoral.
Strength combined with an agility that belied his immense size led him to completely dominate the world of Greco-Roman wrestling for 13 years.
Wow.
He wasn't just stronger and faster than his opponents, he was smarter too. This warrior philosopher literally had a PhD in suplexes, making him perhaps...
And he's a huge fan of buildings. I know a story about that guy.
the world's most terrifying intellectual. Alexander Karelin was born in 1967 in the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. He weighed a whopping
Where is that these days?
At birth and showed no intention of letting go of his largeness, outgrowing his father by age 30.
12 pounds, 5.5 kilos at birth. Oh my goodness. The real champ is mother. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine that. That's just so chunky. So big. Ugh.
13. In his childhood, he excelled at every sport he took up. Boxing, weightlifting, volleyball, basketball, skiing, and swimming. But there was one sport that called to him more than all the rest. Wrestling. His massive physique meant Karelin was competing as a super heavyweight from the age of just 16. This was a teenager who could snap you in half. His coach was initially skeptical of him, believing his natural size and strength afforded him a laziness that meant he rarely had to push himself to his limits, and thus would never become an exceptional athlete. This skepticism quickly changed when he oversaw Karelin's training and realized he was only too happy to train like a man possessed every single day. In Berea Forest, he spent hours rowing and running, often with a large log on his back.
This man is literally country strong.
And is said to have clean and pressed 420 pounds.
Nice.
He regularly bench pressed 450 pounds as part of his workouts. He focused on his agility as well, though, being capable of backflips and the splits. In short, Carlin trained like a madman. His words, not mine, though I'm inclined to agree. The intensity of his routine
This man is
paired
so
with his
big.
natural gifts made him one of the most dominating athletes of all time. He was undefeated in Greco-Roman wrestling from his start in 1982 until 1987. At the USSR
Was he doping?
Championships in 1987,
Probably
a 20-year-old
doping.
Carlin faced reigning Russian and European champion Igor Rostorovsky and lost by a single point. Determined
Oofta.
to avenge his first ever loss, Carlin came back the following
And his definition of
championships
henge.
and
He
beat
is a
Rostorovsky
brick
while
shithouse.
recovering from the flu and a concussion. He then returned to being undefeated for 13 years. He amassed 12 gold medals in European Championships, 9 gold medals in World Championships, and 3 gold medals at the Olympics. For the Soviet Union in 1988, for the unified team of the former Soviet Union in 1992, and for Russia in 1996. For 13 years, he terrorized the world of wrestling. His speed meant he could outmaneuver you. His technique meant he could out-wrestle you. And his strength meant he could do whatever the hell he wanted to you. His
Yeah,
signature
probably.
move was a reverse body lift, typically only seen in lighter weight divisions and practically unheard of for super heavyweights. But Carlin was so strong, he didn't have a problem picking up a 280-pound man and slamming him on his head. This move became known as the Carlin lift, and many a match
Damn.
a super heavyweight ragdolling around in Carlin's arms.
Imagine having a move named after you.
Come the 2000 Olympics, Alexander Carlin had a single loss to his name and 887 wins. For the past 6 years, not one person had even scored a single point against him. In the finals, he faced Rulon Gardner from Team USA. Unlike the experienced Carlin, this was Gardner's first Olympics.
Oh,
he was a simple
I feel
dairy
sorry for you,
farmer,
kiddo.
but he did have one advantage going into the match: his massive frame.
I thought you were gonna say he was
How much of an
doping.
advantage this was quickly became apparent, as early in the match Carlin went for his signature lift, but was unable to hoist the massive Gardner up. The first round ended with no points. The second round began in a clinch, during which Carlin briefly released his grip to reposition his hold. This was a mistake, however, as due to a recent rule change, Carlin breaking his hold meant Gardner would be awarded 1 point.
Ooh.
The second round ended, and with just 1 point
Damn,
between the
rule
wrestlers,
changes.
the match went to overtime. The
Oh,
Carlin lift
Biffis.
was attempted once again, and was once again unsuccessful. For the first time in 13 years, Alexander Carlin was defeated 1-0. Now, supposedly, Carlin had
Damn.
been aware of the recent rule change that awarded Gardner his one and only point. Did he complain? Nope. He very graciously admitted defeat.
Oh,
leaving his
let's go,
shoes
big
on the mat
man.
As a sign of his retirement. He had 889 matches in his career, won 887, some of which were
We
badly
admire
injured,
somebody who goes
and
down of
lost
grace.
2, each by only a single point. So good was Carlin that his nickname was The Experiment, and many believed conspiracies that claimed he was somehow designed or groomed by the Soviet Union to be an inhuman
Bear,
athlete. Alexander
shark,
Carlin
man.
is still widely considered to be one of the greatest Greco-Roman wrestlers in human history, and one of the greatest athletes of his time. But Carlin
Yeah, for real.
was no mindless brute. He was descendant of intellectuals who had been exiled to Siberia in the past. He was a student of literature, poetry, opera, and ballet. He holds a degree in law as well as a PhD in sports science. His PhD is titled Methods of Execution of Suplex Throw Counters. Incredible. Carlin
Damn.
is the sort of fella you can
Oh.
easily imagine living thousands of years ago, an unbeatable warrior with a mind for science and the arts.
He's like,
I
is he
imagine
literally just
hardly lived
heavy?
that long ago.
Yeah,
He'd
this is
still
literally
talk
just
about
heavy
it to
weapons
this
guy.
day. Instead, we get to live at the same time as him and bear witness to his incredible feats with our own eyes. This is why he's not just considered a hero in Russia, but across the world. Shortly before his wrestling retirement, he served with the Russian tax police and
Oh.
retired with the rank of colonel. I'm always telling you guys not to mess with the tax man, and this is another great example. In 1999, Vladimir Putin invited
this
the Russian
guy.
hero to enter politics. And he
Ooh.
did. He has remained with the government ever since.
Oh.
In 2020, he was appointed senator in the Federation Council. So he's a statesman too. Maybe we'll see him bust out some of the wrestling moves on his political opponents. I'd love to see a politician take a power bomb. Speaking of which, why not
How old is this video? 9 months ago, okay.
power bomb that subscribe button and Carolyn lift my sub count. That way you'll get to see a new video from me every week.
Wait, what is this about a military penguin? Military penguin? I need to know about this penguin.
Here we see Sir Nils Olaf,
Nephrinol fires?
chief of the Norwegian Kingsguard, as he I'm talking about the penguin, by the way, as he inspects his soldiers during a promotion ceremony. Who's being promoted? Why, him, of course. So how did this penguin receive such a prestigious role? Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland, yes, Scotland, it'll make more sense soon, was opened in 1913. It was the first zoo in the world to house and breed penguins.
I love penguins.
Christian Salvesen presented 3 king penguins to the zoo upon
Babies.
returning from a whaling expedition in 1914. The company was founded in 1872 in Scotland by Norwegian businessman Salve Christian Frederick Salvesen, beginning a long, strange relationship between Scotland, Norway, and the penguins
big
the company gave to Edinburgh Zoo. In 1919, these penguins successfully hatched a king penguin chick, which was the first penguin to ever be hatched.
Look at this little guy.
For these reasons, Edinburgh Zoo has become somewhat famous for its penguins, and now This tradition began in 1950 by accident, as a number of the birds had escaped. While trying to round up the penguins, the zookeepers noticed the visitors were very amused by the antics, and this incident led to the penguins being matched around
I want to
every
go.
day. It's a very cute routine, but I'll be honest, I think I'd rather witness people chasing after escaping penguins.
Penguin.
Quick, he's going for the penguin extender wings.
No!
The city of Edinburgh is also famous for the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo, an event that first took place in 1949 and sees the British Armed Forces perform with Commonwealth and international military bands.
I've heard of this.
The term tattoo comes from the 17th century Dutch phrase "Doe den tap toe," which means turn off the tap, and was a signal played by a regiment's drum corps to instruct taverns to stop serving ale, so that the soldiers would return at a reasonable hour and in a reasonable state, i.e. not absolutely scuttered. Today it just refers to a display of armed forces, or a performance of music by such. So next time you see a military tattoo and you're thinking to yourself, wow, don't those soldiers look so gallant and majestic, just remember this all originates from them not being trustworthy enough.
Tell us about the penguin.
Barracks 3 sheets to the wind. If you're like me, this will allow you to relate to those men and appreciate the ceremony all the more. The Norwegian Kingsguard partook in the Edinburgh military tattoo of 1961. While they were in the city, Lieutenant Nils Eglien took an interest in the zoo's penguin colony. Given the penguins' association with Norway and their historical significance, Eglien thought it would be a neat idea if the Kingsguard were to adopt one as a mascot.
Did he just steal a penguin?
In 1972 that the regiment actually adopted a penguin. This penguin was named Nils Olaf, after Nils Eglien, who had arranged the whole thing, and the Norwegian King Olaf V, who Nils Olaf would now represent as a member of his King's Guard. As
was he expected to like die in battle?
Guard, Nils Olaf was given the rank of Lance Corporal, and he receives a promotion every time the King's Guard returns to Edinburgh Zoo.
Wait,
in 1982, he was made a corporal, and in 1987 he was promoted to sergeant, because every unit needs a capable NCO with a good head on his shoulders. Sadly, Nils Olaf died shortly after this promotion, and just a few days before his retirement. A second penguin who looked almost identical was adopted to take his place. Nils Olav II. Olav II honoured his predecessor's memory by continuing his legacy of unfaltering service and commitment to duty. In 1993, he achieved the rank of Regimental Sergeant Major, and in 2001
F's in chats.
Honourable Regimental Sergeant Major. In 2005, he was appointed Colonel-in-Chief of the King's Guard, and a 4-foot-high bronze statue of Olav was presented to the zoo in honour of the military penguin. In 2008, Olav was awarded a knighthood, personally approved by King Harold V. He is the first penguin to receive such an honour. Several hundred people watched on as the king's words were read aloud, describing Olav
Must be
as a
weird, like, just going to a zoo and, like,
penguin
suddenly see
qualified
this.
to receive the honour and dignity of knighthood. Correct. Sometime after this, Sir Nils Olav II passed away, and once again another penguin from the colony at the zoo was chosen as his replacement.
Nils
In
Olav III?
2016, Nils Olav III was promoted to Brigadier in ceremony, meaning the penguin had now achieved a rank higher than Nils Egelin had during his time in service. Olav must have been very proud.
Lamau.
Here you can see him at the ceremony. He has worn his most fetching tuxedo for the proceedings. He carefully inspects his Kingsguard and gives his approval to the lead man. He then makes a heartfelt speech. When he is about to be presented his new insignia in front of his statue, he doesn't seem overly interested. After all, he didn't enlist for pomp and pageantry. He does eventually accept the honour and marches with the insignia affixed to his wing. He is saluted and makes sure to spend a little more time with the troops on his parade back. Truly a commendable penguin. Even with the pressures of measuring up to his fallen comrades, he proves he is not only worthy of the title, but he does so with such
I love
grace
this little
and
guy.
elegance, one would think he was born for the role. Magnificent. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and maybe even learned something. If you did, please subscribe.
For real talk, though, real talk. Are you just allowed to, like, Shanghai captive animals? It's like, yep, you are now an enlisted soldier. Wait, can you Shanghai him into being an NCO? Oh. Imagine that. You get like, hey, you're now in the army. You're non-commissioned. Eh? There's no law against the welfare game? Is that a pun? Incredible. Ooh! Okay. There's some stuff I want to see. But chat, there's a new fascinating horror. There's a brand new fascinating horror. Also, this Quicksilver video. Chat, have you seen, like, have y'all heard of this? If you're into, like, true crime, or mysteries in general, like, this clip was shared in, like, yeah, this is in, like, 60 Minutes in the UK. This is, like, genuinely insane. Shared psychosis. Hang on, do I have, like, well, this is currently mature, so yeah, let's just carry on with how we're doing. This is safe for Twitch because they're perfectly fine, chat. They are perfectly fine.
The longest motorway in the United Kingdom, stretching 230 miles from the Midlands.
What do you mean? I thought it was the A1. Never mind.
All the way up to Scotland. On May 17th, 2008, however, Highway CCTV...
Hasn't about 5? Oh. You know what? Because this is like a chill stream, I'm just gonna keep playing through this. I do apologize to folk if y'all, I do apologize to folk who are not subscribed, that you have to see ads, but ads mean that new people joining in, and yourself, don't have to watch ads when you first come into the stream. They're also giving me like a bathroom break. You know what? Let's just watch.
He picks up footage of two women walking down it. Where are they going? Why are they on foot?
What's the theme of this stream?
Straight out into traffic.
This stream is just it's just a chill stream.
And the two are causing serious disruption to the traffic.
It's just a chill stream today. We're just vibing, because I'm very tired today. I have like no energy.
It only gets stranger from here.
Well, I do have a full schedule on my Discord and Twitter.
Sabina and Ursula Eriksson. They're from Sweden. Sabina was the one who'd been hit by a car, but she sustained only minor
there we go,
injuries,
socials.
and the two appear
You mind my
calm as
my
they talk
new
to traffic officers at the
new
site.
schedule on there.
Police arrive shortly after to assist, and they're accompanied by a TV crew who are filming some sort of cop show. So we actually have footage from this encounter. That'll save me a bit of work.
Which is kind of crazy.
But some of what happens next is
just happened.
much to be shown on YouTube. So for that stuff, I'll revert back to a more tasteful
Thank you, correct, sir.
event. The police first talk with the highway traffic officers to get an idea of the situation, but before they can get the girl's side of the story, Ursula Eriksson bolts and runs straight back out into the traffic. She is hit by a lorry travelling over 90 kilometers per hour, and her legs are crushed as the wheels roll over her. For my friends across the pond, that means she was hit by a truck travelling over 50 miles per hour, and her legs were suitably yeehaw, partner. I'm talking start the GoFundMe page now, brother. Not wanting to miss out on the fun, Sabina also ran out onto the road and was sent over the bonnet, hood, partner, of
what do you call him, a hood?
Car. Both women are now lying motionless on the motorway as police scramble to stop traffic and get help for the girls, though they're pretty sure they're both dead. When paramedics arrive, they find Ursula is in a surprisingly alive condition, although she is immobilized. Despite this, she seems to be in some sort of frenzy and resists treatment, scratching and spitting at responders. I could never have the patience to do a job like that.
Who is strong enough to be like a paramedic?
You want to fight? Okay.
Who is like brave enough to be like a
Sabina had been knocked unconscious after getting hit by the car, but she was starting to come around. It appeared she was similarly crazed and was shouting things like, "They're gonna steal your organs." Amazingly, she managed to get up. An officer trying to calm her down and keep her still receives a
and not jump over the middle.
Runs off across the motorway again. Seemingly possessing super strength, Sabina is able to resist arrest. Even after some bystanders come to assist, it is a struggle to carry her by each limb. She is extremely agitated and is screaming for help, misreading the situation. She is restrained, sedated, and put into the back of an ambulance. Ursula is airlifted to hospital.
Yeah, oh boy indeed.
Hospital only 5 hours later, her injuries being much less serious than her sister's. From here she is put into police custody and bizarrely is calm and collected, as if the violent outburst had never happened. It turned out Sabina lived in Ireland with her partner and 2 children, while Ursula lived in the US. Ursula had come to visit Sabina the previous day, but for some reason the two secretly left Ireland for England. Sabina had apparently had a fight with her partner the previous night and had gone to police to report concerns over the safety of her children. That day they had boarded a coach for London, but the bus driver became suspicious over their erratic behaviour and refusal to let anyone handle their bags.
Welcome back, Wilson.
He let them off at a service station, telling them they weren't getting back on board and that they should just calm down and get the next bus. Instead, they apparently decided to continue their journey on foot, and shortly after that, their strange behaviour was picked up on CCTV. A day later, Sabina pleaded guilty to trespass on the motorway and assault on an officer. The court sentenced her to 1 day in custody, which she had basically already served, so she was let go. Alright then, feels like maybe something more should have been done here. She wasn't even psychiatrically evaluated, they really just let her on.
What?
Yes, that's right, there's more crazy
British
shit
courts,
about
why?
that. Now back in the street, Sabina needed to find out what hospital Ursula was staying at. Around 7 p.m. that day, she bumped into a man walking his dog and his friend. Petting the dog, Sabina got talking to the man, 54-year-old Glenn Hollinshead.
You're gonna do the meeting, McCoy? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We're still gonna be here, bro. I hope.
Hollinshead told her he had room at his place if she wanted to stay the night, and she agreed. The three went back to Glenn's house and chatted for a while. The two men noticed Sabina seemed almost paranoid, constantly peering out the window. At one point, she offered them each a cigarette, but before they could light them, she snatched them back, saying they could be poisoned. Her behaviour was questionable, but it was a bit
Poisoned.
late to rescind the offer now, and she'd be gone in the morning anyways. Glenn's friend eventually left the two,
I'd
and
tell her to
Sabina
leave.
stayed the night. The next day, Glenn phoned up his brother, who worked at a hospital, to see if he could find out where Ursula was being treated. He makes food for himself and Sabina and heads over to his neighbour to ask for some tea bags. Only a minute after re-entering the house, Glenn Holland's head runs back out. He has been stabbed 5 times with a kitchen knife. Reportedly, his last words were, "Look after my dog for me. Sir, go straight to heaven." Glenn's neighbour called the police and Sabina went on the run. She was later spotted by a driver who noticed she was hitting herself over the head with a hammer. Concerned for her safety, he left his car to calm her down, but she hit him in the back of the head with a roof tile.
Excuse me?
What is happening? As police were making
Oh, I shouldn't laugh. This is like getting more and more ridiculous.
Bridge overlooking the A50 highway and jumped over the barricade, plummeting 40 feet to the road below, breaking both her ankles and fracturing her skull.
Oh.
She survived, however, and was arrested on suspicion of murder. She was discharged from hospital and taken into police
please
custody
stop.
in September. Ursula was released around the same time, though she was never charged with any crime, and she just fucked off back to the US. So, with Sabina on trial, you'd think we're about to learn what the fuck was going on throughout
Yeah, I'd like to know
all
what's
these
going on.
escapades, right? Well, listen to this, because it's crazy. Sabina offered no explanation for anything that happened and responded to every question with no comment. She pleaded guilty to manslaughter with diminished responsibility. Why diminished responsibility? The defense counsel argued that Sabina
Nice.
Eriksson was suffering from folie à deux, or shared psychosis.
Is this a real
They
thing?
argued that her sister Ursula was suffering from a rare psychiatric disorder, and when they were together, Sabina sort of adopted this disorder, or was infected by it, due to the close bond between the twins, and together they convinced themselves of delusional thoughts. It was a temporary madness, meaning Sabina appeared sane in court, but was not so at the time of the crimes, according to her defense.
Oh, fuck, this is crazy lady. She's
had no
insane.
criminal history before this incident. This was all accepted by the court, and she was sentenced to 5 years in prison. What? Since her release, her whereabouts are unknown.
Only 5?
What's going on? The story still doesn't make sense. Only 5 years. I don't know about you, but to me, it's insane the court...
I didn't think insanity is like a legal plea in the UK.
I'm not saying it isn't what happened. The people who do these evaluations are experts, and I guess their evidence must have been very compelling, because I'd never have thought the court would accept that. I mean, be honest, what were you thinking was the explanation? Maybe it might have had something to do with Sabina's reported family dispute, like she was trying to get away from someone, but it seems nothing more was ever revealed.
Have a good luck,
about that.
McCoy. You'll see you
And
soon.
it really just doesn't explain some of the erratic actions. Maybe it was just all part of her delusions. I mean, she had reported it to the police. Surely they'd have been able to determine if there was a legitimate worry there. But I know what you're probably thinking. Drugs. And
Yeah.
yes, I was just thinking the same thing. One moment.
I think that...
better. Now, let's look at some fan art. Recently, there was a competition on my Discord with prizes for the best fan art.
That is
First
wild.
place gets to appear in a Cukester video.
That is the end of the actual video. No, that's insane. I just find it wild that it's like an actual thing people can do. Oh. Thing is, like, Wilson, it wasn't just her sister, like her. It was her sister as well. They were twins. I didn't know that one of them carried on to do other stuff too. Yeah, I need to update my stream tags. Let's add Third of You. And let's add violence. Because that's the thing we're watching. You can just carry on some like quick save videos like tonight. I've never watched this guy too much. Or in great detail. Not watching that. Oh. Almost feel bad for you, dude. Actually, no, let's get the other one that's like on. Yeah, this one. Monkey works for alcohol. This is from a Discord somebody posted. By someone.
Too often on Tales from the Bottle do we focus on war, death, and destruction. The fact that those topics seem to pull a lot more views probably
This is
says
from
something about
Samuel.
human nature, and the fact that I exploit this by making more videos on those topics probably says something about me. But please consider I have to spend a full week researching, writing, drawing, recording, and editing every
Yeah,
single
this is
one
like
of
this
these
is a real
topics.
job.
That's a long time to be steeped
More than
in
what I
war,
do.
death, and destruction, especially when I'm making a new video every week. I do like to take a break from human misery every now and then. God knows my own is enough. So here's a story about a baboon working on a railway. In the late 1800s, James
I never
Wide,
feel.
or Jumper Wide to his friends, was a double-leg amputee working on the railway line between Port Elizabeth and Cape Town in South Africa. Seems a bit cruel to nickname a double-leg amputee Jumper, but he had actually earned his name years before while he was working as a guard for the railway. He was known to jump and swing from car to car while working the line, hence the nickname Jumper, until one day he fell between two moving cars and lost his legs at the knees. And as the song goes, he ain't gonna jump no more. Having no legs was a bit of an
Lions led by donkey
host
hosts laughing.
went unemployed for a while. Low though he was in physical form, he kept his spirits high.
Why does he look like a
making pair of peg legs and rejoining the railway, this time as a signalman at a small station in the town of Uitenhage. Although he was still able to walk with the aid
Yeah.
of a crutch, Wide's mobility was greatly reduced. While he was able to perform his tasks as signalman, he lived half a mile away from the signal box, so the journey to and from work was a bit troublesome. Thus, he was
Hang
inspired
on.
to build a
Your
small
jacket off.
trolley
Ugh.
with which he could wheel himself around on. James Wide worked
There we
like
go.
this for several years until one day he came across a life-changing scene at the Uitenhage marketplace. An
What do you think,
ox cart
chat?
that was being driven
Comfy,
by a
right?
monkey. A baboon, to be exact. Wide was astonished and
Hi,
approached the
Martin.
owner. The
Welcome,
owner
welcome.
explained the monkey was unusually intelligent, so he had trained him to do some basic tasks for him. This gave James an idea. With his
Is he gonna get his own monkey?
ability, such a helper would make his life much easier. He persuaded the owner to sell him the monkey. Sounds like a pretty hard sell.
Buy
given
the
that he's a
monkey.
trained monkey, but honestly, the amount of
Honk.
people who probably stopped this guy to ask about the working monkey probably negated any of the time saved by the monkey doing the work.
Hi,
Probably
Mandy.
less hassle for him to just do
Monkey.
everything himself. And so
Ook.
James named the
Ook.
monkey Jack
Ook.
and took him to work with him every day. Jack soon became invaluable to James, learning to push and pull his trolley around, as well as providing companionship, alleviating the boredom. and
What kind of
loneliness working the
companionship?
signal box all day.
What kind of
And soon
loneliness?
Jack picked up other tasks.
I don't like the sound of
When the
that.
approaching train required more coal, it would sound the whistle 4
Ooh.
times to alert James, who would then fetch the keys to the coal shed and have them ready for the driver. Observing this, Jack eventually learned that 4 whistles was the signal to fetch the keys, and started doing it himself. Wide even managed to teach Jack how to operate the railway signals, holding up a number of fingers to indicate which lever needed to be pulled.
The thing is, it's like a
Suddenly,
baboon.
Wide
Aren't
started
baboons
to
like
become
super
very
deadly?
easy, his workday probably being
Or
less
aggro?
intensive on him than an able-bodied signalman. From this point on, Jack was promoted from Jack the Baboon to Jack the Signalman. Isn't evolution amazing? He became a local celebrity, and passengers would sometimes toss him treats from the windows. James developed a unique bond with Jack, and the two became quite close. They came to enjoy their commute on the trolley, with Jack hopping on board for the
Monk
ride to
ass.
push the trolley to
It
the
is
top of
monk
the hill.
ass.
James paid Jack
I think I have
his
monk
wages in
ass, don't I?
alcohol, without which the monkey would supposedly
Yeah, I do got
sulk
monk
and refuse
ass.
to perform his duties.
Oh no.
Yes, monkey, railway signals, alcohol.
What a
recipe
terrible
for
idea.
success. Well, apparently it was, because Jack the Signalman was reportedly very good at his job and never made a mistake. After 9 years of service, Jack developed tuberculosis and died
No!
in 1890, leaving James Wide brokenhearted.
No!
There's the human misery. Well, I suppose you could only get away from it for so long.
No!
Today, Jack's skull is on display in the Albany Museum in
Oh.
Grahamstown, South Africa. So, if you ever find yourself in the area, make sure to pay tribute to the best goddamn signalman to ever live.
F's in chat. Choo choo. Oh.
And while you're here, make sure to pay tribute to the best goddamn YouTuber to ever live. Me. Just like Jack, I will accept alcohol as my weekly wages, but I will also accept subscribing,
Oh.
following me on Twitter, checking out my second channel, Cukester2, donating to me on Patreon, and buying
I mean, you could subscribe. You could subscribe to Quicksir and follow him on Twitter. You could also follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my streams or to my YouTube channel. Oh, oh, shameless plugs. Hey. Next video. Oh, that's a good video. Oh. Ghost passes verdict in murder trial? Can you declare war on your own? Yeah, I'm kind of curious for this one.
If you're as neurotic as I am, you've probably
I think it's
pondered
gonna be a
these
Quicksir
once.
night.
Can I found a sovereign nation and declare myself head of state, thereby exempting myself from the duties
Yep,
and
I have asked this question before.
demanded of me by my current government, such as paying taxes? Well, actually, you can, but as you can imagine, there's some work involved. Firstly, international law specifies some minimum requirements for you to be
There's
eligible.
laws in making your own
One of which
country?
is that you must have a defined territory. Sadly, this is where our plan falls apart, at the very first hurdle, like most of our other
Dang.
plans. Chances are you were thinking your sovereign nation would exist entirely on your property. After all, you bought the land, it's
Yeah,
yours.
that sounds
You
like a
can turn
good
it into
plan.
sovereign nation if you
Damn,
want
this
to.
stupid
Well,
phone.
your government would probably disagree, and if you intend to tell them that your land is no longer part of their territory, well, good luck. If you're lucky enough to live in a part of the world where the government will simply ignore this, I wouldn't push your luck. They won't
I mean,
care about
could they
your
not just, like, take
kingdom or
over?
empire
Could they
or
not just
whatever
invade you?
until you and your citizens actually start living under your own law and ignore theirs. This will get you in trouble. If you decide to forcibly assert your independence and resist their law enforcement, expect to be referred to not as the head of state, but as the head of a cult. Enjoy that while it lasts.
Isn't
So
that
to
just Far Cry
summarize, you
3?
basically got two choices for your dreams of statehood. Have them completely ignored in every official capacity, or go down in a bloody blaze of glory in resistance to the government. Both these options
just
have
stay
been tried
connected.
and tested by many before us.
Please
and
just stay
today we'll be
connected.
taking a look at one such story. What happened to the self-declared Emperor of the United States? Joshua Norton was born in 1818.
Okay, this is not what I thought it was gonna be.
England. 2 years after his birth, he and his family moved to South Africa. As merchants, they enjoyed a degree of wealth, and when Joshua left for the United States in 1849, he brought with him a personal
Edward
fortune.
Norton? Who's
Arriving in
Edward
San
Norton? You
Francisco,
know this guy?
California, Joshua Norton quickly got involved in real estate and commodities trading, multiplying his wealth. He became one of San Francisco's more prosperous and respected citizens, enjoying the high life as a member of exclusive clubs and committees, rubbing elbows with the upper class at expensive parties and fancy establishments. As an eternal begrudger, it sounds to me like this guy needed to be taken down a peg or two. Unfortunately for Norton, the divine peg movers erroneously dropped the peg to the floor. Where
I'm familiar with this crazy guy.
No one
Oh.
wanted to pick it back up again. For you see,
Oh, no.
in 1852, a famine
That's never a
in
good
China
sign.
created a shortage of rice in San Francisco, driving the prices up nearly tenfold. Seeing
Okay, I don't want to start every video, but New, what do you mean by San Francisco egg war? And is there a Quicksir video on it? Because I want to know about this egg war. Egg war! Egg war!
an opportunity and thinking the price of rice is nice, Norton located a ship returning from Peru with rice and bought the entire shipment. It was a license to print money, until very shortly after, when a bunch of ships arrived also carrying rice and of better quality.
Oh
As
no.
the supply restored, the prices plummeted, leaving Norton in a spot of bother. He tried to void his rice contract, stating the quality
Oh
was
god,
not
there's
up to
so
snuff,
many of
and this
them.
led to a lengthy legal battle. After 3 years, the courts ruled against Norton, and he was financially ruined. He was soon living in a boarding house. Norton grew
Horrifying.
disillusioned with the state and the law, which means he's back in my good books. Now a downtrodden outcast with nothing to
Have you never
enjoy
quick
but
the rabbit hole? I
rebellious
am a
attitude
little bit.
towards the
Maybe
man,
just tonight.
Norton decided there was only one course of action. He had to take matters into his own hands. In
His own hands.
1859, he had a letter published in a San Francisco newspaper that read, "At the peremptory request and desire of a large majority of the citizens
TLDR.
of these United States, I, Joshua Norton, formerly of Algoa Bay, Cape of Good Hope, and now, for the last 9 years and 10 months past, of San Francisco, California, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States, and in virtue of the authority thereby in me vested, do hereby order and direct the representatives of the different states of the Union to assemble in Musical Hall of this city on the 1st day of February next, then and there to make such alterations in the existing laws of the Union as
Blah, blah,
may
blah, 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 blah,
ameliorate
blah,
the
blah, blah, blah.
evils under which the country is labouring, and thereby cause confidence to exist, both at home and abroad, in our stability and integrity. Norton the First, Emperor of the United States.
The thirst.
For the
Oh,
next
you
20 years, Norton
sassy
acted
bitch.
as emperor, although in reality he was a pauper. Whether it was all in good humour or his fall from the top to the bottom had driven him mad is not
California
known,
Agua.
but most seem to agree he was an eccentric character.
Ooh, I
the
wanna see
newspapers,
some
he
of this
issued
stuff.
many decrees on matters of state, abolishing Congress, dissolving the two-party system. He even called for the construction of a suspension bridge from Oakland to San Francisco in 1872. In this, he was somewhat of a visionary, as the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge began construction in 1933. Coincidence? Well, yes, actually. The government totally ignored Emperor Norton, but despite his increasing frustration at this, other than commanding the army to arrest politicians and further decrees, he didn't take it any further than that and lived under the law.
I feel like a ton of people like this in the US though. Like people just like, hey, I'm just gonna
view him.
like I feel like a ton of people like say they're sovereign citizen stuff.
Society beforehand and was always
Of their own person, their own state.
Many of his decrees had the well-being of everyday citizens in mind, focusing on things like taxes and the upkeep of the streets, and he spent his days wandering around the city listening to people's problems, attending public lectures and debates, and even state legislature proceedings, ensuring he was well-versed in the troubles of his city. Because of this, many humoured him in his stylings as emperor. He lived off people's donations, that he called tax. He issued his own imperial money, and some businesses
Yeah, but just off the
even
shits.
accepted this,
It's awful.
even though it was completely worthless.
Norton is funny.
Besides,
Sovereign citizens
some
is
of these
terrible.
notes survived to today, and they're worth quite a lot of money now. A nearby army base donated old uniforms for his regal outfit, and when the people of San Francisco noted his appearance was starting
Oh,
to look
no.
shabby, the city's government bought him new uniforms. In a local directory, his occupation was even listed as emperor, although it also stated he was insane. This was a
Amount.
notion shared by some others, including a special officer in the Auxiliary Police Force, which was little more than a private security force that operated under the actual police force. This officer arrested Norton in 1867 and tried to have him committed to an asylum. This
is about just for you,
outraged
like-
Norton's loyal subjects, who pointed out that he was a harmless eccentric who had committed no crime. The police chief ordered the release of Norton and issued an apology. Norton responded by granting an imperial pardon to the special officer that arrested him. From then on, the police saluted Emperor Norton as he passed in the street.
Oh,
He captured the hearts of the people, but his empire was largely powerless without official recognition. To this end, Norton attempted to establish diplomatic relations with various foreign leaders. These attempts often
Who did he
went
try
unnoticed,
with?
such as his proposals to marry Queen Victoria, but
Fair enough.
hilariously, the King of Hawaii refused to recognize the US government near the end of his reign, instead acknowledging Emperor Norton as the sole leader of the United States.
oh my goodness, I
As
love
his fame
this.
grew, so too did rumors surrounding his legend. Some claimed Norton was the son of French Emperor Napoleon III. Some
Was it
claimed
third
he was
Napoleon?
massively wealthy. It's thought a lot of the rumors surrounding Norton's life came from newspapers.
Wait, was three
inventing
Napoleons?
decrees and publishing them under his name. On January 8, 1880, Emperor Joshua Norton collapsed in the street while on his way to a lecture at the California Academy of Sciences and died at the age of 61. His reign lasted 20 years. After his
No.
death, it was found the rumours of Norton's secret wealth were erroneous. In a search of his room at the boarding house, it was found his possessions amounted to a few dollars, his uniforms, a battered sabre, and some imperial documents, hilariously including forged responses to his diplomatic efforts. Norton was to receive
Aww.
a pauper's funeral. However, when local businesses learned of this, they contributed funds to ensure he had a nicely constructed casket and a dignified funeral. Reportedly, over 10,000 people showed up to pay their respects, from the wealthiest businessman to the poorest labourer. Today, there are
Damn.
efforts to rename the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge to the Emperor Norton Bridge, meaning he is still a somewhat relevant figure
I'd
in
be
San
down for that.
Francisco's
I've never been
politics,
to
well
San
over
Francisco.
100 years after
Yeah,
his death.
salute.
So I guess if you wanted to declare yourself a ruler, Emperor Norton's example is probably a good one to follow. Of course, you'll still have to pay taxes and obey the
No.
law, but that's your problem, not mine. As the High King of Ireland, I am, of course, above such matters. As always, my subjects are commanded to like and subscribe, and I'm sure you've heard this one before, kiss my royal Irish ass.
I have never heard that. But you do you, buddy. Damn, there's so many good videos. Mooney Cat. Okay, we'll do the Egg War video. No. Yes, we'll do the Egg War video. I'm curious to hear about Egg War.
After the discovery of gold in California, people flocked to San Francisco.
I don't know about eggs.
With all these new mouths to feed, local farmers began to struggle, leading to widespread food shortages. Chickens
No.
were particularly scarce, costing up to $1
Egg.
a piece, the equivalent of $30 today.
Okay, so this video is kind of topical. Didn't eggs get super expensive in the US at some point? Like in the past year, I think. I remember reading something like that. 6 eggs cost what, $8 or something in some places. Insane.
The scramble for these protein-packed breakfast blobs drew entrepreneurs to an unlikely source, some very rocky islands 26 miles off the coast of California, known as the
For a
Hot
hot minute.
Islands. These islands were dangerous, covered in jagged rocks, steep.
Why? Why do they get so expensive?
Completely inhospitable to humans. However, they did have one feature that the ravenous San Franciscans did quite like: a lot of eggs. The Farallones hosted the largest seabird nesting colony in the
No!
United States.
Guillemots!
Each spring, hundreds of thousands of birds blanket the islands with eggs of all colours, shapes and sizes, and apparently they didn't taste that bad. And so, the egg rush began. In 1849, give or take, a pharmacist named Dr. Robinson hatched a plan to profit off the egg shortage. He and his brother hired a boat
No,
and sailed
no
to Farallon
birds.
to gather up as many eggs as possible.
Oh no.
Half their haul on the rough ride back to San Francisco, the pair pocketed $3,000 from the sale of the remaining eggs. Word of their success traveled fast.
Did they?
Overnight, the islands were crawling with eggers. These people risked their lives to collect eggs by the thousands, climbing over sharp rocks, scaling sheer...
And volume of it? Yeah, I can do.
Off hordes of aggressive seagulls. The most desirable eggs were those of the common murre, a seabird.
No,
with a
they're
sharp
so
and bright
cute.
white feathers. The eggs had thick, pear-shaped shells with speckled markings that ranged in colour from grey to turquoise. Most importantly, the murre eggs were just as edible as chicken eggs, but double the size. This
Oh,
egg
no.
pleasure became so lucrative that during the months between May and July, the islands erupted into an annual engagement known as the Egg Race.
Annual?
Brawls broke out constantly between rival gangs, ranging in brutality from threats and shell throwing to stabbings and shootouts. Sometimes rival gangs would battle for weeks at a time, resulting in frequent egg droughts across California. Many times,
Egg
soldiers and police
drought?
were sent out to calm things down, but every time they'd leave, the gangs would come back almost immediately. There were even egg pirates with boats equipped with small cannons, who instead of getting all hot and bothered collecting eggs all day would simply wait
Oh my goodness,
and then
okay,
intercept
you have it.
shipments
Oh
which
my
landed on the
goodness.
mainland, threatening the eggers with
I
cannons.
knew I had that email there for a reason.
Francisco, the courts were barraged by a dizzying variety of egg-related cases that included charges of petty larceny, trespassing, property damage, resisting an officer, and even
Damning.
manslaughter. In 1851, 6 men sailed to the Farallones and declared themselves owners of the islands. They claimed ownership of the islands by right of possession, basically meaning they have it, so they own it. Kind of like finders keepers. As you
Really?
can probably imagine, this was highly disputed by rival eggers, especially one of the larger gangs, a group of Italian fishermen. To complicate matters further, in 1859 the federal government appropriated the islands for a lighthouse, operated by a small group of lighthouse keepers and a mule named Jack.
Hi,
He did
Jack.
not operate the lighthouse, but he was there. The
Hi,
Pacific Egg
Jack.
Company hated the rival egging gangs. They kept challenging their monopoly. They also hated the lighthouse keepers who kept eating their eggs. The lighthouse keepers hated the egging gangs and the egg company because they kept assaulting them and threatening them with death. And the rival egging gangs hated the egg company who had a near total control of the egg trade. All of these conflicting claims festered into a brutal, decades-long power struggle over the Farallon Islands. All
Ah.
to eggs. a particularly angry group of Italian fishermen, the ones from earlier, were not willing to see control to the egg company so easily. They were initially granted access to the islands by the US topographical engineers. Not sure if they have that sort of power, but the Italians seemed to think they did. They attempted to take the islands many times, but every time the US Revenue Cutter Service, a predecessor to the Coast Guard, arrested the trespassers,
Oh, not even the
they seized
IRS.
their weapons. But they always came back.
Naval
The
IRS.
accumulating tension exploded into a full-blown melee in the spring of 1863. The Italians, under the command of the very un-Italian David Batchelder, sailed out to the Farallones once again. Upon arrival, they were met by a group of employees from the Pacific Egg Company standing on the rocks armed with guns. The company's foreman, Isaac Harrington, warned the fishermen, "Land at your peril." Batchelder replied, "We will land in spite of hell." After which the Italians sat, had some drinks, and spent all night exchanging kind words with the employees. At dawn, the
How are
bleary
people
eyed
like so long ago like so ball over like
the employees of the
insults?
Pacific Egg Company opened fire. For the next 20 minutes, the rocky peaks reverberated with the thunder of gunshots and cannon blasts. Bullets were flying everywhere as both groups fired upon each other for the sake of egg riches. The Italians had managed to shoot and kill one of the company's employees, but the Pacific Egg Company had much greater firepower, wounding at least 5 of the Italians, one of whom was shot through the throat, later killed. Under heavy firepower, the Italians decided to retreat. This gruesome battle made it all the way to Washington and booted the government into action. Now, one would think that they would simply ban egging altogether. Instead, they granted the Pacific Egg Company a complete monopoly over the egg trade. Thus, the
yes.
plundering continued for decades, further decimating
How do you fix
much of the
capitalism?
seabird
By enforcing
Over the next few
capitalism.
years, the company became increasingly violent and confrontational. First, they
What
demanded
a
that keepers
horrific...
use the
That's
lighthouse,
how they did
a
it.
crucial instrument that provides audible warnings for when the view of the lighthouse is obscured. It may save lives, but it also scares the birds away, meaning less eggs, meaning less money for the Pacific Egg Company. The last straw was when an assistant keeper was attacked for collecting a couple eggs, and on May 23rd, 1881, the US military finally forcefully evicted the Pacific Egg Company from the islands. The company's downfall opened the trade to lighthouse keepers and independent fishermen who upheld the summer tradition of raiding the roosts, up until the chicken industry finally caught up with the high demand for eggs across California.
Okay, but what happened to Jack? What happened to Jack? Is Jack okay? Is Jack okay? I hope Jack was okay. Oh. We love you, donkey friend. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna go for a very quick... Jack, you're one of the Italians, clearly. Pass 1, Italian 0. Okay, I'll do the up is not jump video first. Carpentry is a nightmare. Is this new? No, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna go for a real quick pee break. So y'all enjoy this chat for a little bit.
Jesus, Mother Mary and Joseph. We're going to be following a tutorial.
Be back in like a couple of minutes.
Just get started.
Hi, I'm Eddie Rainier, and today we're going to build this simple but elegant bookcase together.
Adrian, I don't know if I should be using this hanger.
So today's workshop...
Oh God, look at all those tools. What do I have? I really need to stock up.
Just go ahead and set yourself up a safe and organized work area, and you're ready to go.
Haven't we missed a step here? What is this thing? Is that wood on it? Have you really capitalized the C in bookcase?
What we have are 2 pieces cut 12 inches wide by 6 foot high.
I think we're going to need a bigger boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these outside and we're going to store them into smaller planks. Oh, well, never mind.
The next day.
The police coming for me. Sorry, officers, I'll keep it down.
Why didn't I just buy smaller wood?
I wouldn't say that line is as straight as it could be. Bit of mud, bit of water, that will come right off. I'm just going to try and cut this little end off. Oh, here's a cut line, so we'll just do that. So I've marked up my wood so that if I cut along this line, it will produce the planks in the sizes that he's talking about.
I want a divorce. Sorry, darling, I can't hear you.
I preferred setting myself on fire, I think. Well, the bucket didn't really achieve anything. Okay, so we've cut up our shelves. Now we draw on our shelf markings.
Let's go ahead and make some marks for our shelves.
Okay, so we've marked in all our shelves.
These marks will coincide with the bottom of this adjustable shelf hole jig. Coincide.
I return chat. No, don't leave us with a twink. No, it's fine, chat. I'm back. I'm back. Don't worry. Mama Abby is back. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna give you all a heads up now. I'm finished the stream. I finished tonight's stream on time. I am tired. My back hurts. My shoulders need Reiki. My boobs really hurt. My boobs hurt so much. Yeah. Okay, they don't hurt, but they're like, they've given me pain because I've had like, I didn't work. Yeah. The work from home mindset of like, hey, you're not going out. You don't need to wear a bra. You're gonna be sat at home all day. You're gonna be comfy. You're gonna be cozy. You know, your comfy stuff. And I ran and got to the office like, oh, wait, no, I have like no support here. Put on a second sweater. No nip knops.
I found this online.
Grab our pencil and we'll transfer our marks for our shelves. So then we can come back with our trusty old framing square.
Good grief, man. Careful with that. You're going to have someone's eye out. So we grab
A what
trusty
now?
old framing square. Fuck. Slice an eye out. Ah! I have an actual framing square.
Put it on there and transfer away.
It's just none of these lines are straight. I wonder why these lines aren't straight.
Now it's time for our
Hi, Heretic. We're just vibing today. We're doing some media share. I promise we'll do some like interesting stuff next
four
week.
holes about 1.25 inches apart, 2 inches in from the end.
We're going to use this to drill holes in it.
Okay.
I like his nails.
I have 120
Oh.
of these.
It's now time for our rabbit cut.
Rabbit cut? What is that piece of wood?
What is a rabbit cut?
Rabbit cut, something I don't have. Honestly, that bit of wood hasn't been mentioned once, though it is vaguely mentioned in the comments. So now we know the measurements of that shelf. We'll put it onto the saw table and we'll cut it out.
I like media share stuff.
These are both
'Cause
shelves, so
this is what I
cut them down the middle to make.
this is what I do like most days. Like I am too tired. Knowing what I get to stream on the days I do stream fills me up with like it just pumps me so full of energy. Like I get it's like so gives me so much vibes. Friday I get tired, I get excited, and then it's so good to actually be able to like hang out with y'all. But most days of the week I'm watching this kind of crap. Or even when I'm working. Hell, right now I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to like inspire myself to get into Kamen Rider and Power Rangers again, or Super Sentai at least.
2 shelves. It won't fit on the table saw, so we're going to do it outside. So we're just going to clean up this line. So we've just cleaned up all of our shelves to put into the bookcase. And oh, would you just look at those cuts? Only years of experience will get you those cuts.
Sand
What we're
him.
gonna do is notch out the back
Or at least plain.
for our Luan.
Oh yes, of course. Well,
So that cuts
Hello.
1 inch by 3/8 of an inch. So what we did is we brought the height of our blade up to 1/4 of an inch, and we set our fence so it's going to cut out 3/8 of an inch.
we're not going to do any of that.
Okay, let's go ahead, make it safe.
What? No,
I'm not gonna do that.
It's safe.
I'm not doing that.
Details, Eddie. All he did was move a tape measure. So we're going to go ahead and make it safe. We're ready. So what
Don't use a
is
table saw,
making a notch
kids.
in the wood, so that when the backing
Okay,
goes on
okay.
the bookshelf,
I'll see you soon, McCoy.
sits in.
We're almost done with our bookcase side prep work. What we're going to do next is look at our permanent. Let's go ahead and put a center line on that shelf.
Center line.
Transfer to the side.
Transfer it over to the side. There's so much burnt wood here. I have
Why is the wood
no idea why I'm
burned?
doing this.
Then
Why are we
we're
burning
going
the
to come
wood?
back with our handy dandy little drill motor, with our handy dandy little drill bit. This is a pilot hole for a number 8 wood screw, and it has the countersink already on it.
Oh, good. I was worried about the countersink. What the fuck is a countersink? So I just googled what he said and I bought all of these.
Okay, let's go
Oh.
ahead and drill away.
Wait,
Let's put this bad boy
you can get a countersink drill bit? How do you countersink a drill bit? Is it just like wider at the base? Whoa.
together.
Fuck, who authorized that jump cut? What wizardry have we missed between these 2 shots?
Also, I
This week
don't
we're gonna
think-
take our egg, apply a 2.7 countertop inversion.
How does this work? we have there's a media share channel in Discord. Hang on, I'll ping you.
Now with a good bead of glue, some clamps, and some screws, we'll put this bookcase together with you.
Remember, if you want to make a bookshelf that shines,
Oh wait, you're not in Discord, apparently. Oh.
so now we're going to screw the top and the bottom of the bookshelf.
Wait, are you not in
and
Discord?
as you can see, we have our beautifully cut wood here. So we're just going to glue these bits together, and then we'll screw them together.
New,
So let's
honestly,
put the
same.
screws in.
Like, IKEA is insane. Like, all you need is a Billy bookcase.
These are for Allen keys. Yes, he puts the clamp on and
A
then he
Billy
screws.
bookcase is like solves a lot of your own issues. Like, oh, is that a clamp? How's that a clamp?
Look at that join. Bellissimo. Now, man.
Overstripped.
Really big pilot hole. So let's try it. Ow! Ow! Fuck off! There we go.
It's crying.
These screws are an example of how good and bad life really can be. Oh my god, it's another triumph.
Now we flip the frame over, and we went ahead and cut our
I'm rewriting that. We flip the frame over.
Now we flip the frame over,
Now we flip the frame over. Okay.
and we went ahead and cut our Luan backing to its proper size.
Uh-huh.
I think I cut this wrong.
When you...
Sawing wood now. What is fucking happening?
The biggest issue of carpentry, like, at home, like, doing your own thing, even if you want to do something, like, simple at home, wood is expensive. It is really expensive.
Let's just put this back together.
Like, we have the Home Depot equivalent in the UK is B&Q. And B&Q is, like, one of the most expensive places you can buy anything at. You can get everything, but, like, ugh. I wouldn't... But one time I tried to get, like, one time I wanted to build something. I wanted to build, like, a basic, like one of these kind of things, like a frame. So, like, we could, like, saw stuff. Like, we had, like, bits of, like, fence to do. And, like, saw. We couldn't do it. Because the wood to make the stuff was so expensive. We couldn't just cut the stuff. Homebase got out of business? Homebase went out of business, like, over a decade ago. Hang on, when did Homebase go out of business?
She can't take it, Mr. Wolf. Fits like a glove.
We just have to go ahead and nail it down.
Homebase went out of business in...
Hello,
Wait.
IKEA. Would you like to buy a bookshelf? So as you can see, we have our Luan backing.
Oh, there's like a new rebirthed
1/4 pine,
Homebase.
1.5 inches wide.
So our pine's a bit long, so we're gonna cut it using the table saw. Okay, so we've cut our pine into equal width pieces.
We're
Oh.
gonna go ahead and put our
Hi,
piece together
Smelly.
with a square
Come on,
cut,
come.
or better known as a butt joint.
Oh, finally. So we're laying our pine down, and we're gonna just make sure it's the right length. We're gonna mark
Yahoo.
it and cut it using a buzz saw.
Welcome. Don't... Ah!
What am I gonna do?
That
with
is
this
so
after this video?
dangerous.
Let's go ahead and glue and nail our sides.
So what we're doing at the moment is we've cut our pieces up into the right sizes to cover the shelves, and this is to just make the front of the bookcase look a little bit nicer. I don't know if we should really be using that. Look at that, solid as a board.
It's now time to use our router.
His looks nothing like mine. Actually, it's one of these.
Oh, I love routers. Oh, like,
Never seen one of
routers and biscuit cutters. Oh my goodness. Have you seen biscuit cutters, chat? They're so cool. Like, easy joints, biscuit joints. Expensive, though.
these before in my life.
Today we're using a...
Chat, I want to make something out of wood.
This is just a piece of plastic.
Chat, I need wood. Chat, I need wood. I need wood so I can build something out of it.
On a piece of scrap. Make sure you spend time on accuracy, because if you don't, it could be a lot of extra work.
Biscuit cutter?
to come out just
Okay, a biscuit cutter is essentially like a very specialized router. A very specialized router. I think I'm right. Or no, it's just a dedicated routed bit. Yeah, it just could sound like things for biscuits. It's kind of like a Dremel kind of thing. But it cuts like a slot in wood. Honk. Pretty sure Abigail has a lot of wood. Oh shit. Choice of words. Or did I mean to do that? Birdhouse making stream? A birdhouse making stream would be fun. Like, what a simple woodworking project.
This is how you smooth the fucking edges.
Let's finish our shelving with our adjustable.
Oh, I can make like a cutting board, planter, spice rack, shoe rack, a wine rack,
The final step is we're going to put in our adjustable shelves. We're going to glue some
a
tiny
jelly bean
dots,
dispenser.
and then we're finished. So let's put in our pins. I've written lols here. Where's my saw?
This is horrific.
Not for everyone. Why didn't I put the glue? Oh god. Now
Why is the glue on this side?
Does that stay there while I hammer in some nails? Why did I get into this situation? Fuck! Can you hold this for me? Hold it steady! Let's just take this out. Please, no. There's glue dripping from above. This was your idea. You said stand it up and then glue it up. Now is not the time for laughter. We're making history.
Why?
In a museum. You don't have to hold it anymore, because I've got it this side.
Yeah, I need a lot of wood. I do need a lot of wood.
What the fuck?
I love up is not jump.
Alright, so I was using the wrong nails. I mean, we could just lie this down, but I feel like we can...
Did you use finishing nails? No, these are like regular ass nails.
Good job.
Now that's a fine looking bookcase. Why doesn't mine look like that?
Aw, yeah, ain't she beautiful? Ain't she beautiful? AIM is like the prettiest bookshelf you ever seen. The cat likes it too. You're not gonna get a single splinter, not even a single... Cut it out.
Hoodie I set on fire. Hello everyone. As you may have noticed, I bought quite a few things for this video.
At least $100 in wood, right? This is like, yeah, it's $100 in tools.
Honey is
And
a
like,
free online shopping tool that finds promo codes on the internet and automatically applies them to
hang on.
Honey is a free...
I don't want to look at the Honey ad because Honey sucks. Boring and drilling bits. Oh, that kind of boring. $100. Ew, gross. Honey now? Honey used to be good at one point. Like, Honey legitimately used to be excellent. Like, when it first came out, then PayPal bought it. And nothing is good anymore. I do like Up Is Not Jump. Right? You can see these when they come up. Ow. Painting with Bob Ross. This video is a good one.
This looks like piss. Hello everybody and welcome to...
Nice! Love this.
Today we're going to learn how to paint like me, and if you pay close attention...
Yeah, PayPal bought it. And eBay owns PayPal. There's a little bit of a delay in my map tracking. Wonderful. Oh, are we good now? Yeah, we're good now. Now, eBay, the thing is, like, eBay, no. eBay owns PayPal, essentially. PayPal, despite being awful, is kind of amazing. If you're only buying shit through it. If you're selling through it... Hardcover! Thank you very much for the 400 resubby. Heart. Welcome. How you doing, friend? Oh, it's an adorable emote, too. We're doing some media share today, just chilling and vibing. And I'm just mentioning something about PayPal. How do we wake at 6 AM for work at 7? Oof, I know the feel. I know the feel. Yeah, I hope your work days goes quickish. Yeah, you might enjoy your work. Where, like, a long day isn't too bad. It's done. Well, congratulations. Clap, clap. If you're selling using PayPal, it's absolute hell. It is. I have bought and sold Magic cards. With it. I will say, PayPal's buyer protection is like next level. It's incredible. But it's a little bit too aggressive because you end up with like there's a story of like some guy or girl, I can't remember. They bought like a super fancy violin, and the violin was like, oh wait, the violin was like listed as like, oh yeah, this is from like 1973. But the person who bought it's like, no, this little stamp inside the violin says it's from 1974. PayPal said, yeah, no, that ain't flying of us. We'll give you your money back if you destroy the violin. So the person who bought it destroyed the violin. The person who sold the violin is like, wait, I'm like a few £100 out of pocket, and I'm missing a violin. Hang on, this is... Yeah, oh my goodness, this is a few $100s. This is $2,500. Violin destroyed PayPal. Top hit from January 2012. PayPal makes eBay customer destroy $2,500 violin. Botched communication. Old French violin to buyer in Canada. Buyer disputed the label. Non-common. Rather than the violin be returned to me, PayPal made the buyer destroy the violin in order to get his money back. They somehow deemed the violin as counterfeit, even though there was no such thing in the violin world. The buyer was so proud of himself, he sent me the picture of a destroyed violin. I am now out of a violin that made it through World War II as well as $2,500. This, of course, is upsetting. My main goal is writing to you to prevent PayPal from ordering destruction of violins and antiquities that we know nothing about. It is beyond me why my PayPal simply did not have the violin returned to me. I spoke on the phone to numerous reps from PayPal, 100% defended their actions and gave me the party line. Ugh. PayPal's company terms and conditions state that PayPal may also require you to destroy the item and to provide evidence of destruction. Ooh, boy. Yeah, be careful, chat. Also, avoid using PayPal. You work in a recording studio, and you're working in a studio in London, so you had to compromise time zones and stuff. I mean, what's the problem with UK time zones? Decided you gotta be British for a bit. Ugh. London.
Soon you'll be able to produce one of these beautiful pieces of art. Can't put
Wow.
perfection. In reality, we're going to be painting this. Oh, good. So what we're going to be doing is painting along to one of Bob Ross's tutorials. And the
How do you do one of these?
twist on this, 'cause lots of
I'm still living in America. Had to wake up at 6 a.m. US time.
Other required equipment, and I tell you, getting hold of some of this was like getting hold of fucking uranium. I think most of this has been discontinued or is now illegal in some way. But
I think that
I have never painted, written, or drawn anything in my entire life. I don't know why I said written. I've written things. I feel like I'm genuinely opening something that.
Do they still sell this set?
In a museum. Also, before
Oh, there's like $100.
like the first month of the revenue.
Sorry, £160.
Donated to the UK's leading lymphoma charity, which is what Bob Ross unfortunately died from. Much more professional than the outside of the box makes it look. I'm gonna just drop that. You just put the paint on it.
I'd love to. This is another thing I'd love to do. If I ever do like, oh, video volume up, yeah, I will do. Hang on, let me turn it up on OBS. Is that better? Lefties unite! Well, you'll get over it. Hardcover. You'll have a good sleep.
Okay,
You'll have
so
an
I've
early
opened up
night
my
sleep,
palette with all the
which means a
different
longer
colours. This
sleep.
one is sliding down, which I really hoped it wouldn't, but there you go. So we're gonna hold it at a nice angle, like this, like a saucer.
So we'll just dip the old 2-inch brush right into the liquid white
Oh, okay. That's why it's running.
and begin covering the canvas.
It's liquid.
Thin, even coat of liquid white.
Yeah, Lymphomas fucking sucks.
Now we wash our brushes with odorless paint thinner.
My thinner's on the floor. Oh, there's just paint everywhere. Oh, God. Oh, it's in my eyes. I'm gonna beat the devil out of it in the kitchen.
Let's make a happy little sky.
Don't make a sky without me, Bob.
Just a little bit. Just
I want to do this. I've seen people like do these kinds of things, and they look really fun.
My sky is a little bit too dark. I love water and it's always fun to do. I know this tape off by heart.
Liquid, liquid, liquid. Oh.
The phthalo green. Don't need much of that. No pressure. No pressure. Just let it float. It's very strong. It's painting should make you happy.
But I want to try like watercolor painting sometime.
I think I've got this. And then we leave like a little gap. I imagine sky's a little bit fucked here. Oh,
I think it looks good so far.
Get a paper towel. 1 minute.
Let's use the fan brush today.
Don't use the fan brush. 1 minute. Okay, here we go. Let's blend. Bob, I'm not ready to. Oh, I fucked it.
No.
Oh shit! There's paint all over the floor. Does oil paint come out?
He went to Vietnam too, didn't he?
Okay, so I panicked and poured the iced tea onto it, which I don't think has helped things. Yeah, he's using a lot less.
Passport 2, Bob Ross painting streams. I'll have to try it.
Now we're gonna do a cloud.
Decide where your cloud lives. Maybe he lives right in here.
Maybe like if I get like a graphics tablet, I can like do some stuff on stream. Like on, I have Photoshop.
I mean, that doesn't look like anything.
Maybe we.
Oh, it looks good though.
Oh, brilliant! A mountain. I'm sure I'll have no.
What is Passport? Can Warham painting stream? No, I fucking hate acrylic paint. Acrylic paint's my bane.
Don't leave me, Bob. See, I made a bump as in like a new. I'm out of paint. Take from the top. And then we're gonna blend.
Maybe there's some snow on that little mountain.
Fuck.
Oh no, that's not what you're. Wait, is that a palette knife?
Foggiest how he's done that. Oh, I put too much pressure. No pressure.
Probably the single.
I know Nilesy from Yogscast did some stuff like that.
Because they apply too much.
Passport.
No pressure.
There's someone living right here. No pressure.
Oh, Passport. Passport 2.
I
Lost
really
Artist.
don't think I should do this because there's so much paint on there.
Pretend you're a sunbeam. Just flying around here and having
can try that sometime. That looks interesting.
Oh, we're gonna draw a tree in front of this. It's okay.
Very easy, little mountain. And I knew you could do it. And I knew you could do it. And I knew you could do it.
I don't know how to fix what I've done.
How expensive is it to get into this? How much is an easel? How much is a canvas? How much like an oil paint set?
What the fuck? What?
I have no space for any of this.
Get a bit.
Also, it's kind of winter and storms right now.
He's using the edge of the brush. And then we're pulling down to make them look like they're a bit longer.
Give me a sec to check. Yeah, like
same color, only
get a tiny. If I get like a tiny easel.
Surely it's black. That's the answer, isn't it? I've got the wrong brush. Long trees. Let's wash the brush. I mean, it's not terrible.
If I get like a tiny easel, tiny canvas, smaller brushes.
Wiggle it.
Okay. Mine doesn't
Oh,
look anything
Bob.
like that. Bigger.
You a player?
Illusion of a little pond here.
Pond? Who said anything about a pond? Oh, fuck.
Nice mustache, by the way.
Look at the depth that's in that already.
It's just a fucking line of... And now what are we doing?
Decide where you want reflections to be, grab, and pull straight down.
Mute City.
Cutting a waterline.
Oh, this is coming out great!
What have I done? Why is there so much paint everywhere?
Begin pushing, making the bristles bend slightly downward.
What did you... You just did
Oh, and
it.
you're twisting it a little bit
fucking
too.
did it.
That's a fat fucking tree. The tree is
nice
taller than the
We
mountain.
don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I think everything I've done is a mistake. Like, this tree is blue, and this one is black. We better not need some dark sienna later, because it's gone. Van Dyke Brown, it's gone.
Just the corner.
Just the corner. Just the tip. There. There. Oh, there it is.
No, now you're. Oh,
Nice tree lives there. Just push, bend the
it's not
bristles
saying
upward.
it isn't bad.
I don't know what I'm... Is it a bush or a tree? I don't know. I'm gonna
It's anything you want it to be.
now. What's this?
We'll take.
Just keep going.
It looks great. Like honestly, if I did this in like at school, I'd be like, "Hey, teach,
What have I done?
give me a grade," and I'd be like,
Future
"You
trunks
get
in there.
an A because you're not drawing anime."
Touch,
all these kids drawing anime, they're not going to grow up to do
Really
anything.
see how I've made a tree here, but okay.
Over here, let's have some reflections. So take the big brush, decide where you want reflections. You can turn what was land right into reflections.
Although that's a tree, it's not a reflection.
Okay, I'm memeing entirely. No. I am memeing entirely because my teacher said to the one kid who drew like classical art styles, use classical media. Like, okay, in my class in high school, there were 4 kids who were genuinely artistic and enjoyed like doing art stuff. At 15, 16, which is when you do your GCSEs in the UK. And 2 of them, they're in different classes, so we never hung out with each other, but I think we hated each other. They were actual real, like, quote-unquote, big quotation marks, because everyone, like, applied themselves and liked it, not just because they had to do it. Yeah, they're proper artists. Like, one of them is, like, I think is, like, an actual, is a professional artist now, and does, like, big oil canvases kind of deals. And the other one, I think she just does marketing now. She fell out of art because, hey, it doesn't pay the bills. But the other 2 kids who are super into anime, they're in studios now. They do work for studios. So, yeah, no, it's just kind of funny because, like, hey, you'd get a good grade. Is Paul Souls? Nah, I think that, like, to be honest, I think the thing is, like, if you work for a studio, compared to being, like, a commission artist, you have stable income because the company you work for has payroll. I guess, like, every art teacher wants their student to be like, hey, yeah, I taught this next generation artist. Maybe that we'll get a bigger budget for art, because somebody from this school is, like, world famous now. That's the only way school's gonna get a bigger budget. This is so good! I love this!
This is where we're going to fix everything. We're going to highlight the evergreens, and that's going to change the whole painting. I mean, that looks actually a little bit better.
I love this!
I think I might have been looking at this painting for a bit too long. Oh, I've done way too much. No, a new bush. There's a new bush here. No, there can't be. I can't have any of it. So he's drawing...
You can make a new bush.
Some red in there. We've got some roses. We've got some cranberries, some raspberries. Okay.
Oh yeah, if you're like a studio mapper, you have like no chance.
Scratch in little sticks.
Scratch in some sticks. Sorry, I've done this to you. This tree is floating, and there's this ice mixing in the water at the bottom, and it's coming out of nothing. I like the mountain. I thought we started off quite well.
The mountain's great, and I like the
any sense. And I'm just gonna sign the
bottom
painting.
forest too.
Stunning. There's paint in the carpet, and there's paint on me. I hope you enjoyed the video.
Wait, that's a green screen? I just realized there's a green screen in the background.
I might sell this painting or something. There's a link in the description to also donate to the lymphoma charity if you want to join in.
Honestly, I love that. I'd love to do something similar.
I don't know if I will. Goodbye. Hello, everyone. To clarify what I just
Hello.
said, I'm going to put the painting onto eBay, and then we can auction it off as a charity auction.
Also, that
and all
painting in the
money can
background,
go to
that's
the
pretty.
Lymphoma charity. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'll also post when the auction is going live on YouTube, so you can all find out about it. As a final thank you, here is an animation I made about Bob Ross about 2 years ago. I think you'll really enjoy it, and it will stretch the video out to 10 minutes so we can make the most money for charity. Because
Wait,
YouTube,
how old is...
we need to have the videos be 10 minutes for some arbitrary reason.
5 years ago. Damn, YouTube has changed.
One of the earlier shows, I showed the biggest squirrel that I had ever seen. I'm gonna put him up and let you see him again. This rascal is something else. I have never seen a squirrel this big.
That's starting soon?
It's called a Sherman fox squirrel.
Yeah, I'll run an ad. I'm gonna go get some more water anyway.
Very docile.
Seeing painting stream would be great. I'd love to do some painting stream. Like, I've loved seeing, like, again, my Oshis and Mouse, he's like drawing a lot of stuff for you. Hell, I'd love to get into, like, art. And, like, McCoy, who I absolutely admire, has the cutest style and their emotes, too. Can we have a shout out for McCoy, actually?
I hope you are, too, because I like to show them to you. Okay, tell you what, it's time for us to go to work. So I'll set him right over here in his little basket. Now, this
Iron
time
Mouse?
the guy
Yeah,
has some
Iron
power
Mouse.
in his
Iron
hand.
Mouse is like my
That's
Oshi.
real, and he will get you.
Let's not shout out Iron Mouse though, because
That's what happens.
he's streaming to how many fuel? Yeah, stream to 8K fuel. I am not gonna I don't just pop up in our feed. We're not even doing it as a joke. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing a quick ad. When I'm back, we're gonna watch more stuff. Love y'all. Be right back. Go hydrate. Hello again. I return. I want to count something more up is not jump stuff. Oh, I need to play Red Dead Redemption. That'd be a good game to play on stream. What if maybe? This is a game I have to play on stream too. Outer Wilds. Witcher 3, I think I'll pass. No, I've never played a single Witcher 3. Oh. So Stardew. I'll be real with you, chat. I like his like older stuff where he does like more shit posty kind of things. And don't get me wrong, I love the game stuff. But for real, like I think the IRL stuff, they're just great. Bob Ross thing. This VR stuff is wild. Hell, I love a Fallout player, chat. If you play Fallout, you might be friend of me. You might be a friend of me. You might be friends with me. Have I seen the Dogehammer videos? What is Dogehammer, heretic? Dogehammer. Oh, I don't want to do shorts. I don't want to do shorts today. I don't fancy doing like short videos, like short form content. I will though. We have one longer video we could watch. And I think this might be a perfect thing. Now, we'll do this. Followed by... Yeah, we're gonna give this some memes. Sounds good? Sounds good. Is it time? It is time. We're watching a long video. And we have no ads as well.
Born pure and immaculate in the heart of dying stars, gold has captured the imagination of mankind since time immemorial. What enrapturing magic lies in that soft yellow luster? Why has gold enchanted so many?
And this came about because I got emotional about gold the other day. Like, emotionally angry.
Embrace. What mysteries lie in gold if we dare to follow it down the forbidden path into the delicate folds of gold's sweet?
Hey, is this getting weird for anyone else?
Just a little bit. It's boring fucking metal.
I can't be the only one who's getting spammed with ads on the subject of gold, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's over-polished YouTube spots or
definitely not that
finance
one.
guys pushing their trading courses, a lot of people seem to want me, Dan Olson specifically, to buy gold. Most ads for investments are
gold
fairly
is so
similar and just kind of
shit.
wash into the background radiation of daily life, but this one caught my attention.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Far more incredible than I ever imagined.
I know it's gonna be him.
There's nothing else like
He's a
it.
handsome man, chat.
A miracle of nature.
And he's in the title.
I'm talking about gold.
And this is that is the Suicide Squad's own Idris
Yeah.
Elba headlining a YouTube documentary on
Yeah.
gold distributed by the World Gold Council, whoever they are. I'm assuming they were the villains from Captain Planet.
Sounds like
Gold,
it.
A Journey with Idris Elba, promises to take the viewer on an eye-pleasing, globe-spanning adventure peering into the fascinating and complex relationship between humanity and Element 79, the ways gold intersects with history and technology, and the result is, well, I'm not going to bury the lead here. This is corporate propaganda. It is not particularly good, but its existence is interesting. These kinds of celebrity-hosted corporate spin pieces are a bit of a relic in this day and age, usually relegated to
How old is the video?
trade shows or maybe looping on a screen in the back corner of
12 days ago? How old is the video it's based on? Oh my goodness.
some regional museum's geology exhibit. The Mineral Journey, sponsored by the World Gold Council.
Talking just real quick, just talking like museums and like things being sponsored by big corporate overlords. Never forget, chat, one of the first sponsors for Disneyland, one of the first big sponsors is Monsanto. Never forget. Anything related to the DRC laws is red flags? I'm not gonna. I can't say. It's a lot of stuff. But yeah, you are right. The DRC is wild. If you want to see some real horrific stuff about the DRC, just transit at Brussels Airport, because they are very apologetic about their past, and there's a pretty good little there's a pretty good little exhibit, like museum, talking about what happened. Sanitized a tad, but like, no, we need to make amends. So there's a lot of charity stuff. Yep. News right, but I would have like I'd get ready to call your mother.
Council, you know,
some horrific
that
stuff.
Kind of thing. What's unusual
Let's
is
get
how
into the
hard
video.
it's being pushed to a lay audience. If you even glanced at something finance related lately, odds are you got pushed the trailer as an ad.
What is it about gold that's got us so hooked? There's no sticking one in your pocket and getting out of it, is there?
I mean, How much money do you
Now,
think Idris
first
got
of all,
paid?
in the abstract, a documentary about gold is exactly the kind of thing that I'd watch. Gold is a genuinely compelling subject worthy of exploration, especially by a documentary team with, like, a travel budget and at least some access to the operations of a working
His weight in
mine.
gold?
You could
That'd be
fill
so
the running
much.
time of a documentary just
Hang on.
discussing the chemical properties of gold, its resistance to corrosion, its malleability, and how those elemental traits, those quirks of
Idris Elba weighs
physics and
86
chemistry
kilograms,
inform
apparently.
its place in culture. Gold is at once a
Or 97
practical and useful
kilograms.
metal, but also a social construct.
Or
an
85.
ideoform
There's
that
no
connects its
definitive.
actual uses and various imposed social meanings. Any comprehensive answer to the question, what is gold, unavoidably carries an emotional component, and that is a complex thing to unwind. So, here's some fun facts about gold. Gold is incredibly resistant to corrosion. The main threats to things humans build and use are oxygen, water, salt, and UV radiation, and gold is, for all intents and purposes, immune to all of them. It neither rusts nor
Pretty
rots,
good.
and aside from Instagram influencers, nothing eats it. Gold is pretty rare. Of the 94 naturally occurring elements found in Earth's crust, gold is ranked
But not the
75th,
rarest.
making up 4 times 10 to the negative 7% of the crust.
What the
Even
hell's
though it
a
is
rhenium?
rare in terms of the total mass of the Earth, its global distribution is widespread, with significant deposits on every continent. Also, relatively rare in the context of the mass of the Earth still means warehouses full of the stuff in human terms. Despite this rarity, gold has historically been rather convenient, with nearly pure gold nuggets being found in surface-level deposits, rivers, and former rivers. Since it doesn't corrode, gold exposed by the elements stays shiny and easily identifiable. Gold is extremely malleable, to the point it can be
Use
formed into
gold
threads
to
a
insulate the
single
engine
atom
bay of the
thick,
F1 car?
and then
Is
those
it-
threads can be
is it a good
stretched even
conductor of
further
heat?
before breaking.
Or a good
It
insulator?
can be rolled into sheets so thin that they become semi-translucent while still retaining structural integrity. It can be polished so smooth it is the material of choice when a mirror requires maximum precision, such as those in
It's metal,
space
so yeah.
telescopes.
Monofilament
Gold is hard enough
gold.
to make useful household objects out of, but soft enough to be worked with stone tools without smelting.
I just want to say one thing real quick. I'm not sure it's going to get mentioned. It's wild to believe, like, the world's highest, like, the person who ever had the most gold. Like, Mansa Musa, had, like, 18, like, on one of his pilgrimages, had 18 tons of gold. This isn't, like, what he had total. 18 tons. To take as a party favor. I was like a housewarming present. I'm kind of simplifying things a lot. But 18 tons. That is like... Even if you were to adjust that for inflation, that is more money than... It probably has ever existed, or exists currently, right? Like... Is that... How much money is that? That is more money than some countries have ever had. He tanked entire countries by just giving it away to everyone he saw? Wait, he just gave it out as gifts? Chat, we're going back in time.
Gold
We're going
isn't
back in
consumed
time.
by most of the things humans use it for and can be readily recycled and repurposed simply by smelting it into something new. St.
It's
Edward's
eco-friendly.
crown could easily be reduced back to a 2.23 kilo ingot of gold for a second time in history after English Parliament melted the original medieval crown in 1649. We did it once before, Charles. We can do it again. As a result of all of these cosmic coincidences, humans have been using gold since prehistory, and its basic industrialization has been invented multiple times around the world. Putting all that another way, unlike basically every other workable material at our disposal, a trinket made of gold can be sunk to the bottom of the ocean for tens of thousands of years and be dug up functionally unchanged. The timeline of gold is the timeline of geology. This physical trait, this resilience, gives it an allure of everlasting value. Even this cheap little souvenir bottle of gold wafers comes with a little card promising it is a gift of remaining value. There is a narrative around gold that starts in its physical properties but balloons into its own collection of cultural signifiers, its own mythology, and any thorough discussion about gold will inevitably intersect technology, colonialism, war, and climate change.
Your crown is the same year as you?
Talk of gold,
When it does, I will come on
three distinct yet entwined things,
if they're
all
weird,
sharing a
I'm
name.
not getting into that.
Gold the element, gold the narrative, and gold the commodity. And
It
is this
looks
last
like
one that
Quality
is the subject
Street.
of our conversation today.
It looks yummy.
Not everything is rosy for gold. Gold as a commodity faces a number of challenges, some with roots going back decades and some more modern. Gold has,
It looks edible,
dare
chat.
say,
I want it.
a bit of an image problem. Gold, for a long list of reasons that are not what this video is about, is a favorite of conspiracy
Right?
theorists, preppers, and just really a whole host of weirdos. They hoard it, they accuse governments of manipulating it, they promote it with an evangelical zeal.
Come in.
My god, that man wants like a slice of cheese thrown in his
Plan on
face.
supporting my granddaughter, young man.
I'm only 17, sir.
What can provide her with the brightest future?
A home?
Wrong. Gold.
Gold?
It's never too early or too late to secure your future with gold.
Just to contextualize this for my younger viewers, this is not a lost comedy skit. That's the guy who did burglaries for Nixon, shilling gold.
What?
So, safe to say, nothing attracts a
Who is
crank
this
quite like
man?
gold, and that definitely impacts
What do you
how the
mean by,
wider
like,
public
burglaries
thinks
for
of
Nixon?
gold as an investment.
Call Roslyn Capital and tell them Gordon Liddy sent you.
All right, I just want to take a second just to unwind the facts of this.
Was
Despite
he
the
dead?
popularity of gold amongst people who own doomsday bunkers, the rationale that they're working from isn't unsound. If you were an investor back in the Netherlands in 1635, which asset would deliver a better return over almost 400 years?
Oh, tulips.
Or gold?
Tulips.
In the long run, you can be pretty confident that any gold you have will still be abstractly valuable in the indeterminate future. So on one hand, gold as an abstract
Tulips.
financial instrument is unlikely to go anywhere, but on the other hand, while gold is a safe bet for your 400-year plan,
Ugh,
it's
I
less
don't
of a
even plan
sure
for
thing in your
tomorrow.
5-year
Wait, I know I
portfolio.
lie. I have a plan
Gold
for a week
doesn't
to
take
streams.
interest,
Ayo.
so it doesn't thrive in the low inflation, low interest climate of the bull run, but it's also less appealing in our current high interest climate. And for the sound money, gold standard Austrian economics crowd, gold has seen heavy competition from cryptocurrency. The majority of the accessible gold has probably already been mined, and after hundreds of years of panning and digging, we've found most of the easy stuff. New discoveries and new operations
Do they
are
include
becoming
eating gold?
increasingly
I mean,
expensive. As the documentary demonstrates,
like
with
real talk,
breathless
eating
wonder,
gold,
many
shitting gold,
modern
just
mines,
putting gold in the
particularly
trash.
big high production mines,
Like,
are thousands of meters
in
deep,
hundreds of years'
and all
times,
mines involve displacing massive volumes of rock.
dumps are gonna become like mines.
Stress you feel, you know, it's just that. It's the
People are
idea
gonna be
that
like
goes
just
down
mining old like dumps
into the center
to try and find like old electronics people have like
Mines
binned.
are also under
Hell, I think they're
increasing
still been doing that already
The
in some
average
places, right?
consumer is more aware than ever of the numerous impacts of gold mining. There's both consciousness of the systemic impacts as well as greater access to information about working conditions. For instance, less than 2 weeks before the documentary was released, a gold mine in Zimbabwe collapsed, killing at least 9 miners. So we're going to,
Came out in
for
October.
now, set aside the question of if these mines should exist at all, whether or not the gold that they're digging up even needs to be dug up in the first place, and just for a moment put ourselves in the mindset of a mine operator. We don't need to empathize with them, but we do need to understand their incentives. Mine operators don't dig up and hoard gold like they're playing Minecraft, they dig it up and sell it. Making a profit from a gold mine requires the company to thread a needle. Mining operations have enormous upfront costs, and demand for gold is driven overwhelmingly by bearish sentiment elsewhere. Gold has its best days when the market is crashing. This means that operating a gold mine can be precarious, and the mine is extremely exposed.
Wait, so you make money
to
from
the
gold
price of
when
gold.
things go
Even
tits up?
small increases in the value of gold translates to massive profits for the mines, and in reverse, small decreases or lengthy lulls can be dire. Gold may be the safe pick in the long term, but in the short term, investment in gold can lead to a lot of anxiety. Enter the World Gold Council. The WGC
The
is
villains.
one of the world's leading authorities on gold, and you'd hope so, given that the council is comprised exclusively of major gold mining companies. The organization's sole purpose is to push demand for gold. That isn't an accusation.
How do you
it's not
push
even a
demand?
provocative statement.
How do you make people want
the World
gold?
Gold Council is extremely upfront with its objective to
Beyond
promote the
making things
interests of its
shiny.
members, who are, again, big mining companies. The organization was founded in mid-1987 by the most forward-thinking mining companies. And they were absolutely forward-thinking, because before the end of the year, gold's value would begin a sustained decline that would persist for the next 15 years. These sorts of lobby and marketing groups are actually pretty common, promoting not just a specific company or brand, but an entire class of product. And they're all technically
Electronics and jewelry?
nonprofit
I guess so.
organizations as a result. The World Gold Council exists in a weird spot.
I just think
on the
jewelry is like a
spectrum of
really weird, like,
propaganda.
it has like an
They
investment.
lobby governments, they spin market trends, and they
Like,
greenwash mining
a gold
activities. but
wedding
their
band is
ultimate
kind of
goal
classy, like a
is to
plain wedding
convince
band.
Serious
It's kind
investors
of cute,
to
actually.
buy gold directly and put
Not
their
for me, but it's
money
like, you know,
into
you get what I
gold
mean,
mines.
right?
Their clients sell literal gold. The WGC sells the idea of gold.
You are precious. You are brilliant. You are gold. You are gold.
Bro, I've been there, but gold saved my portfolio.
A tip for you. Visit invest.gold.
Visit invest.gold to see why gold is everyone's asset.
Stability.
Has anybody seen any of these ads?
Protection. You shouldn't have to choose. Gold. Your strategic advantage. Visit goldhub.com.
Like, this isn't online crank forum stuff. These aren't meme stocks. They don't represent
Never seen
tiny
it.
artisanal
Never.
mines that
Yes.
consist
What?
of 3 dudes sharing the one jackhammer. Their
Hope that doesn't
main
out me.
goal is convincing investors
How-
to give millions of dollars to industrial operations that will move millions.
Like, I'll say, like, all these people, like, promoting tweets on Twitter, like, championing crypto, they'll just be casting out a wide net. This is, like, you must be, like, pretty deep into investment and, like, multi-level marketing and scams for this to be like, hey, yeah, gold is a good thing. You should buy gold, too. And gold is an investment. Not like gold is in like, hey, these earrings are cute, or hey, this is like a cool crown.
Of tons of rock. They can't have a reputation for spreading disinformation.
Over any dates on
while
his
their
adverts?
job
No
is
dates. It's just
propaganda, they
gold.
are considered a reputable source for research on gold. But that doesn't stop the World Gold Council from being implicated in countless conspiracy theories, typically painting it as a psyop.
I long concluded that the World Gold Council exists to make sure there never is a World Gold Council.
So you can try, but you'll never escape the cranks.
Well, there's some of us who have suspected since GLD was put together that it is really it's another mechanism in the tool of the central bankers and their bullion banks to be able to use the public's investment gold to apply it to hot spots in the market to keep the price down. That it's another tool of gold price suppression.
So, Gold, A Journey with Idris Elba, is gold mining propaganda. Again, don't take
That
it from
man
us,
is a
take
quack.
it from Joe Cavatoni.
No, he's a
She's
crack.
marketing strategist for the World Gold Council.
The documentary was commissioned simply put to support our ambition as an organization to help the world really understand the value of gold and really
Nice
the
hotel room, by the
experience
way.
of its transformative power. You know,
We're going to come back to this interview a few times. It's very interesting. But yeah, then he just lists some mining industry talking points.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of key messages that are in the film. I'm going to just highlight a few. The first is that for every one job that a gold mine produces, 6 indirect jobs or jobs around the community of that gold mine get created, which
yeah, that makes a little bit of
people don't
sense.
realize that.
It is as subtle as a gold plate.
That makes sense.
The documentary itself has a bit more of a
Does
deft
it?
hand when it comes to
Does it
smuggling
make
the
sense?
agenda in with the info, but not that deft a hand.
You're kind of supporting an industry, right?
They mean a lot to the artist, but they actually carry the
But then it's like, one job goes out of business.
It's not like it's ever going to.
The rest of those jobs go out. I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm not going to pretend to be.
That isn't subtext. That's just text. The documentary allegedly features Idris Elba supposedly going on a globe-trotting adventure to shed light on humanity's ancient relationship to gold. In actuality, it's a virtual tour of gold mines that all belong to members of the World Gold Council, and each segment exists to either counter a popular criticism of the gold mining industry or pitch the mine as an investment opportunity. Elba visits mines in Canada and South Africa, meets the gold-bedecked Ashanti king Otumfor Osei Tutu II in Ghana, gets a tour of a Bank of England gold vault, hangs out with famous hip-hop jeweler Abs the Jeweler, and narrates segments on mine cleanup, gold jewelry in India, the California gold rush, and a straight-up marketing pitch for gold prospecting in Peru. Like, just to be clear, every mine credited in the documentary belongs to a WGC.
Oh my god, this is like a crazy.
And they play us all the hits. Gold mines foster local economies. They build infrastructure. Mining companies totally clean up after themselves. They're even on the front lines of battling malaria. Though, on that note, even the doc doesn't bother to pretend that battling malaria is an altruistic endeavor. It's because they lose more to sick days than the cost of R&D on new pesticides.
Out of the workforce of 8,000 employees, every month you had about 6,800 of these employees and their dependents reporting to the mine hospital for malaria. And so the mine decided to establish a malaria control program.
It's hard to overlook the fact that the documentary's global scope has less to do with the grandness of the subject matter and more as a matter of cherry picking.
Barely.
The documentary is unique, partly because it would be utterly banal in a different context. The film is composed of a series of 4 to 6 minute sequences that, again, would normally be looping in the corner of a museum installation. The fact that something so insubstantial is being pushed so hard is kind of fascinating.
Fuck mosquitoes and like cool, at least for offering like employees healthcare. But the context around it is kind of it's weird. It's weird.
In itself, they had Idris Elba money and they chose to spend it on this.
Yeah.
Look how hot that is.
On that note, a common discussion point about the doc has been Elba's performance. It's very strange. There are times when Idris is energized.
So today is the very special Ashanti Akwesi Day Festival. I've been honored to be asked to be part of the procession, and it is an honor.
There are times when he's clearly working hard to sell this thing.
Into the center of the earth. I tell you, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. It's the first time I've ever seen gold being poured.
And in the sound booth, Idris has a very stilted energy. It could be a deliberate choice, but it feels kind of like he's cold reading the script off a teleprompter that is slightly too far away.
But for me, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone here, the best thing about gold is being able to wear it.
Just for comparison, here is Elba's performance in a different documentary.
To understand how club culture has become so ingrained in our modern lives, we need to go back to a scene that started on New York's underground. It was the 70s, and the city was suffering.
Idris has close ties to Ghana and has spent several years working to develop a film studio in the region. During his trip where he met the Ashanti King, he also met the president of Ghana to discuss policy and was planning to bring an upcoming film of his to the region.
We could case study my film as a proof of concept.
To what extent this influenced
kind of weird, like you're meeting like a present, but you're in like a checker shirt.
It's plainly obvious that Idris really turns up in Ghana and less so in Quebec.
Wow.
Look how hot that is.
This is a very standard piece of corporate communication with a celebrity voice actor and overly dramatic framing. For the most part, the documentary is just boring. The doc makes boring decisions for self-interested reasons. By way of example, India has the second highest demand for gold after China. The two combine to make up half the world's demand for gold.
That's a lot of gold.
This makes the World Gold Council very invested in the Indian gold market. So, we get a short sequence in India that alludes to the cultural significance of gold in India.
Why is it so much?
This is a big and genuinely interesting subject, but as will be a common theme, the doc doesn't have time to do interesting. The nuanced significance of gold in Hindu and Ashanti cultures are flanderized into this very odd and uniform notion of respect. Here's Joe specifically responding to a question about the importance of treating gold with spiritual respect, whatever that means.
We come on your program regularly. We talk about gold.
You want my program?
We talk about the significance of India as a market. Pay close attention and see the experience where you just see a young couple getting married. They talk in great detail about how it's significant beyond the dowry, the wealth creation, or the passing on of that dowry. It's more about how it fits into their society.
Okay, so what he said there doesn't actually happen. For one, Idris isn't there. He doesn't see anything. But besides that, the documentary only focuses on the bride's gold jewelry. The dowry isn't acknowledged at all, likely because it's a complicated, thorny topic to throw at
I don't even know what
Western
dowry
audience.
is.
But this is the essence of the documentary on the whole. By volume, it is mostly tacky but inoffensive corporate spin on a shallow engagement with the subject matter. But there are, of course, issues that are too big even for propaganda to just omit, the subjects of colonialism and environment being the two major ones. The doc has a sequence in Johannesburg where the subjects of race and working conditions are quarantined. The film cedes some ground on this, acknowledging that historically gold mining may be briefly intersected with racism. Elba interviews Franz Bellini, who worked in apartheid-era gold mines and was a leader of a key miners' strike. During that interview, the two don't pull any punches. They are carrying no water for the mines.
Oh.
We were not really looked after. We were almost like slaves, because what they needed is your labor, nothing else.
However, this film was commissioned by mining companies.
And?
So...
There's no hiding from the fact.
No hiding? Yeah.
Gold mining played a major part in shaping South African society during the apartheid years.
Yeah?
But with gold...
The doc then very awkwardly frames gold as a liberating force for black miners.
God damn it, model.
But with gold comes power.
Model,
gold
please.
Miners, they knew that.
Because, you see, gold, by being so useful, gave the miners a bargaining chip. By withholding their labor and denying the country access to the gold,
Hang on,
really
can we
the
start
black
rebridge here?
community was empowered. It's a subtle reframing of a labor strike, not as the withholding of labor, but as the withholding of product. An inert mineral is stealing the valor of labor unions. It's very weird. We're then abruptly moved to South Deep, an active mine in the region that is making use of remote vehicles operated from the surface. This is an interesting novelty and genuinely represents an improvement in working conditions for at least some stuff, but it doesn't really seem to follow.
How long is
heavy
this documentary,
discussion of
actually? Like, the
apartheid.
actual documentary.
But as they talk about mechanization, they talk about how it has done at least something for gender equality amongst the workers. And then this segment's purpose comes into focus.
Oh.
There are ladies who are miners, crew leaders, and then the production supervisor.
Its purpose in the text is to absolve the industry.
The documentary is an hour long.
Here is what happened then, and here is what is happening now. The text argues that mining companies have fixed the problem. That's already wild on its face, but even within the doc, it's absurd. One is a serious politically charged conversation dealing with the subject of race and systemic exploitation. The other is about the quirks of driving a $5 million RC truck for a day job. The argument does not land at all, but the documentary just moves on with entirely undeserved confidence that it has tackled the subject of race in the global mining sector. Then there's the subject of the environment. Obviously, there is no nuanced discussion of the environmental impacts of mining where the companies come out of it looking good. So the mandate is simple.
So how do I do it?
Say as little as possible to omit issues while playing up successes. So that explains why the New Zealand segment is the way that it is. But it just sucks. It sucks so bad. The topic is specifically on the closure and restoration of sites, mining companies tidying up after themselves. The segment focuses on the reclamation of Reefton Mine, located on the South Island of New Zealand. The entire sequence is 4 minutes long, of which there's maybe 90 seconds of footage of the mine. We see that the main pit has been filled with water, and we're shown the process used to plant seeds from a helicopter. were then treated to a CG render of what the site is expected to look like at some unstated point in the future. We close on some B-roll of wildlife, and we're done with New Zealand.
Well,
Here
snipes.
is the totality of material on the pit.
When the mine closed in 2016, their first task was to fill the main pit, to turn it into a lake. It's nice, but it still looks like a mine to me.
If I held stock in OceanaGold, I would be furious. Anyone with any general knowledge of mining is going to come away from this doc certain that this is a pit lake. The same toxic, corrosive hellholes that you find in a Tom Scott video.
It is a mile wide and so deep that you could fit the new One World Trade Center standing upright in it. Or at least you could if the pit wasn't halfway filled with toxic dilute acid. It looks inviting, but you wouldn't want to swim in there. That is dark and lonely water. It looks toxically blue, and it is. It's alkaline. It's got a pH above 11. It would be like swimming in dilute bleach.
Oh yeah, well, that water's nice and blue in there.
But the Reefton Pit is not like those pit lakes, and this site is notable for precisely that reason. That's why we're here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just to back up for a
what
second.
kind of pit lake is this?
Mines. A company would work a mine until either the mine or the company went bust, and then they
Or
would
both.
just walk away. In the case of open cut mines like Reefton, the pits often fill with
Hi, guys,
rainwater
welcome,
over time to
welcome.
create artificial bodies of water. Pit lakes, or quarry lakes, are exceptionally dangerous places for a whole host of reasons that we'll just put up on screen here for a moment.
Yep.
The majority of fatalities
Yep.
at abandoned mines are attributed to drowning in pit lakes. You may also be familiar with famous sites like the Berkeley Pit in Butte, Montana. Berkeley's pit lake is so contaminated by copper that for about a decade, copper was mined directly from the lake water. This makes the water toxic, and if the pit lake fills beyond a certain point, the forbidden Gatorade will spill into the general water supply, which is considered generally undesirable. In response, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has mandated that the lake must never reach that critical level, so the water must be actively pumped out in perpetuity. But even
Wait, what does it get
with
pumped
that,
out to?
over the years, they've had to just keep making the thing bigger because it's really hard to keep water from getting into an existing lake. The Berkeley
There's
Pit is
nothing
a
to
particularly
hold that water
high-profile
out.
example,
There's no
but
trees,
there
there's
are
nothing.
thousands of pit
It's
lakes
dead.
out there, each with their own risk factors. Believe it or not, Tom Scott hasn't even visited half of them. This is not a minor problem. This is one of the fundamental byproducts of the mining process. The thing you are doing at an elemental level is digging a huge hole. Until very recently, it was considered progressive to enforce what is called a lock and leave policy. Mining companies can leave behind a pit that will fill with toxic water, but they at least need to put up a fence. Needless to say, this doesn't do much to mitigate the harm of these pits. Once a pit lake is established, it's incredibly difficult to unwind because now you're dealing with massive volumes of water, which is both very heavy in its own right and does not much care for where you do and do not want it to go. So the solution is simple. Don't let mining companies leave sites in a state that will produce a toxic pit. That is a complex, multidisciplinary process. So that brings us back to Reefton. In 2004, OceanaGold received approval to operate the Reefton
Give
mine.
Grum Grum
As
the
part
yum
of
yum.
this, they were
Hi,
subject
Kai.
to heavy obligations to restore the site upon closure of the mine, which included the posting of a performance bond that, like a rental bond, was money set aside to cover the restoration of the land in the event Oceana went bust. An operations director for the Department of Conservation praised the company's work, describing it as world-class. Unlike mining operators,
That seems
in
like
the
a very
past,
low bar, though, to be
OceanaGold prepared
world-class.
for the closing of the mine years ahead of time. They're one of the first to make use of a new water treatment
Seems like a
system
super low bar.
conceptualized at Cardiff University.
By oxygenating the water before it enters the vertical flow reactor, the iron within the water comes out of solution, turning it a reddish-brown colour. The iron particulate then gently settles on a gravel bed at the bottom of the ponds. Iron naturally attracts other metals and so is able to capture free-floating arsenic
Is
from
arsenic
the
a
water.
metal?
The water continues its gravity-fed course through the gravel bed and exits the system into Devil's Creek. Extensive testing has proven that the vertical flow reactor reliably removes excess arsenic and iron from the water. Over time, the metals will be exhausted from the leachable area of the surrounding rock, and the ponds will continue to naturally spill into Devil's Creek.
I'm sorry, why wasn't any of this in the documentary? The helicopter
that's a
is
good
not
question.
what makes Reefton interesting. It's the ecological restoration that literally gets into the weeds.
The woody material that we place around the restoration sites also provide little microclimates
Oh my God.
for other species that we wouldn't have planted ourselves, such as these ferns.
Can I say, and tell me if I'm wrong, chat, I feel a little bad for a gold mining company. They got done dirty by this whole documentary. This is like amazing. The only reason I can think of that it didn't get included in the actual documentary is because you'd end up with a lot of people calling up all these companies, these like investors calling up the companies, saying like, "Hey, you do this at your place?" Nah, sorry, it's only one company that does it. So either they all do it, or they show that none of them do anything cool. That's the only thing I can think of. Look how we handled our mine. Context, unlike every other mine. The bar is so low. And all these companies decided, we're not even going to put up a bar.
Reefton may be the best example of reclamation on the planet. The World Gold Council must think so, otherwise we wouldn't be here. But the doc doesn't want to dig into the subject of restoration in any detail because to celebrate what makes Reefton noteworthy would require
okay, I was
admitting
right. I was
that
right.
it is exceptional. Hey, these guys have almost cracked the toxic pit problem.
Wait, what
I
toxic
called
pit
it.
problem?
It's also hard to overlook the fact that vertical flow reactors are being implemented in New Zealand, South Korea, and the USA. You know, wealthy nations. It's one thing for New Zealand to strong-arm OceanaGold into restoring a site adjacent to a national park, but what about countries in the global south?
Yeah.
Human rights organizations have repeatedly found OceanaGold in violation of indigenous rights
Yeah.
around their Didipio mine dating back to 2007. Accusations include
this is why-
illegal evictions and arson, and have repeatedly recommended that their license to mine be revoked. It was not. And the UN has denounced the unnecessary and disproportionate use of force against local residents as recently as 2020. Can Filipino residents expect OceanaGold to implement world-class restoration techniques to
Absolutely
restore
not.
their land? Odds aren't great. The work being done at Reefton is interesting and important. It is exceptional in every sense of the word. The documentary went to New Zealand to cherry-pick the most radical project it could find, but still managed to stuff it up. The documentary is only
I don't
willing
feel
to
bad no more.
engage with the superficial elements of ecological restoration, specifically the tree planting.
It's really just gardening, but supersized.
In its brief runtime,
It's just
the documentary
gardening,
focuses
but
exclusively
supersized.
on aesthetics, which is explicitly not what the restoration project is about.
So we're not trying to hide the fact that we mined here, but we're just trying to do our best to put it back.
The community doesn't need the mine's existence obscured, they need the company to clean up their crap and avoid poisoning the groundwater, which is what they're doing. But the documentary would leave viewers believing that the project is greenwashing, simply planting trees around an inevitable hazard. The documentary manages to misrepresent both angles of the subject. It omits the actual reason why closed mines are
fucked
so
up
dangerous
twice.
and the meaningful ecological restoration being carried out at the site. The result is that the environmental activists are pissed off, the company shareholders are pissed off, and you, the viewer, are bored. This sucks. Once the doc is satisfied that
But I
it has
bet
addressed
every
all your
other, like,
concerns
company
and
in
made its
the,
case for
the
gold as a
council is
thing,
not.
it's happy to drop the pretense and fixate on the financials for the last 15
Oh, can you
minutes.
stop, please?
Idris is given
Okay,
a
we're good.
tour of the Bank of England.
I've got an appointment with the bank's chief cashier, one of the very few people with access to its vaults. Sarah John.
Anyway, Idris gawks at gold bullion for a bit before taking a very brief aside to tastelessly discuss the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami.
On the 26th of December 2004, there was a massive tsunami in the Indian Ocean.
The Boxing Day tsunami is the deadliest natural disaster of the 21st century to date, with over 130,000 confirmed deaths in Indonesia alone, mostly concentrated
I was on
in the
vacation when it
province of
happened.
Aceh.
But in Aceh, there was something unusual about the community that helped it to recover. You see, most people didn't have saving accounts. Instead, they had gold ingots and jewelry, which meant they could quickly use it as collateral and start putting their lives
Oh
back
my
together.
god.
So we get that
Really?
little gold nugget before immediately moving on to hang out with a celebrity jeweler.
Abtin Abbasi, or ABS for short, is part of a new wave in jewelry that began with hip-hop. It's not like it's ever going to depreciate.
It's the same thing buying gold, their investments.
The final segment is functionally an ad for Newmont's operations in Peru, which are still in their speculative stages before the doc wraps up.
So, the story of gold. To me, it's really a love story. Like all romances, it's had its ups and its downs.
What downs, Idris?
Yeah.
What downs? What do you think the downs might be? Here, I've got my notes ready to go. I can help make a list. What are the downs?
With a studio days pretty
Our
shitty.
relationship with this beautiful, seductive metal.
Hey, is this getting weird for anyone else? The core audience for the documentary has received it one of two ways. Your standard gold bugs have love-bombed the doc.
It is
Crypto Bros
whitewashed.
and apes, there is a vested interest in the documentary's success as a tool of propaganda, leading to the same types of astroturf techniques. On the complete other end of the spectrum, the crackpot breed of gold bug has responded to the film with outright hostility, framing it as deliberate misinformation to distract from the truth about gold. Whatever that may be.
I'm willing to bet your coming WGC Gold documentary will be more like a childlike cartoon. You won't dare to try to choke down some of these ongoing spicy facts regarding the current day canard of modern day gold price discovery.
But for us, the documentary's cardinal sin is that it's boring. A documentary on gold could be interesting.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
But this is what you get when filmmakers try to tell a human story through the filter of industry. The potential is there, but the documentary is tethered to corporate interests from which it cannot stray. Gold is so culturally significant in India that it's a pillar of the global gold industry. That's fascinating. But if you really dug into it, you'd need to talk about the whole dowry thing, and your American investors might find that a bit uncomfortable. Best just not say anything. Just talk about
Just leave that one, then we can skip over that for now.
Reefton's water quality, then potential investors might learn about the toxic pit lakes that we normally leave behind.
Wait, what toxic pit problem?
So better just focus on the trees. Corporate interests smother the compelling material, grinding it down to its shallowest form. Essential material is absent, and what material is there is inexplicably boring. Funny thing is that this isn't even the World Gold Council's first crack at this particular concept. In 2021, they released a mini-series called The Golden Thread.
They did another documentary?
Sorry, not a mini-series. A landmark immersive documentary series showcasing gold's impact on humanity's past, present, and future. The hook for this one was that they found experts in fields that use gold in some form or another, aerospace and the like, and then have them talk about their projects.
Gold is critically important to make Moxie work for a number of reasons.
Who's Moxie?
But it's all the same problem. There are specific interests being served. You can't just tell a story where gold is a thematic connector between all these other
Who is
interesting
Moxie?
subjects.
What is
You
Moxie?
need
Why do I care?
gold to be the
Ahoy
main
McCoy,
character.
welcome back.
So the whole thing turns into a parade of scientists and engineers and artists talking about their projects as though the most important thing about it is that gold is involved. Like, sure, we detected gravitational waves, that's cool and all, but let's talk about how colliding neutron stars generate a lot of value.
What scientists saw that day was gold being created in space. The gold created in this collision will cycle through the cosmos and perhaps one day will form part of another planet.
The impression isn't that gold is a kind of unique material with useful and interesting physical properties, but literally magic. And when I say there are interests being served and all that, I'm not extrapolating. These people are very explicit. It's in the press release. The purpose of the documentary is to increase the relevance and consideration of gold in the minds of investors and consumers alike. It's kind of maddening. I get so used to dealing with covert propagandists who are trying to smuggle in some ulterior
I'll be
agenda,
honest,
and
like,
the
we're
World
being
Gold Council
so...
just does my job for me.
Guarded with gold. So, when the unexpected happens and the world is in turmoil, you're protected.
So the thing that I find compelling here is the existence of these corporate propaganda pieces, because the fact that someone decided this was a good project to make, that this was worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars that would have cost even outside of whatever Idris Elba was paid, that in and of itself is an indicator. The World Gold Council doesn't just decide to hire a celebrity spokesperson and plaster his face across the internet because they're bored. They don't make a documentary about how cool gold is because they're just, like, they think it's neat. They do it because there's something that they think they need to convince us of. It ends up so weird and stilted because they're trying to talk about narrative and meaning, but those ideas are completely foreign to the people who produced this. I want to go back to that interview with Joe Cavatoni because it really helps illustrate that these guys are just living in an alternate universe. So there's this phrase we're all familiar with at this point: selling shovels during a gold rush. The best way to get rich in a gold rush isn't to dig for gold, it's to sell shovels. It's kind of a dark phrase, isn't it? Like, at a basic level, it speaks to some grimmer human instincts, opportunism, exploitation, delusion. It's a phrase about crass pragmatism in the face of irrationality. You would think that a guy who represents the interests of the guys buying shovels would maybe find the phrase a bit distasteful, but these are capitalists in the purest sense of the word.
You know, a lot of people fail to remember that the California Gold Rush produced a very successful and very wealthy man. That was Levi Strauss. There's a bit in the story about it.
That was a
and
great
I think
part
you'll
of this
really
movie,
get a good appreciation. Yeah, it's a fun story to understand, and you see how it's not just about gold and mining, but it's about everything in the ecosystem around it that brings it to life.
Yeah, and not just about selling shovels, about selling jeans, for example, to those that are using the picks and the axes, and really kind of...
There's no sentimentality here. There's money to be made. And the thing is that Joe is ultimately a kind of shovel salesman himself. Like, okay, on one hand, Joe represents companies who dig up gold, companies who literally buy shovels. But the people digging up literal gold aren't the metaphorical gold rush here. Mines aren't panic buying machine parts. The entire thesis of the World Gold Council is that gold, the asset, is a safe harbor in a turbulent market. It's not just a thing for cranks and weirdos with 5 years of canned beans in their booby-trapped shed. Gold is for slick, elegant, savvy people. Ordinary, yet classy. The WGC wants you to know that this could be you.
Gold is everyone's asset.
We live in turbulent times, and the market has been
isn't everyone? I don't have any
as
gold.
The one real path for building
I have
wealth.
no gold.
That's the gold rush. And Joe, with his slick-looking celebrity documentary and calming social media ads, is trying to sell you a shovel.
That was real good. That was fun. I like that video. We can do more of that stuff some more time. But it's a little bit of a shorter stream today, but I might I'm real tired. I'm real tired. And I have... Yeah, no, I'm just very tired. The main thing is I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a long day. And I'm looking forward to bed. I've been up since 6 a.m. my time. I want to go eat. Irony's rest. You have returned grilly cheese. What kind of grilly cheese you got? Evie Alien. I mean, Evie Eater. No, we're gonna go hang out with someone right now. For a little bit, at least. We're gonna chill. We're gonna vibe. We're gonna... Who do I say hi to today? There's a lot of people on. And it is mostly... a lot of people playing Parallel today. I wish I could get into Palworld. Palworld looks interesting. Looks. Feels boring AF. Feels boring as AF to play. Well, I say feels boring AF to play. I played 20 minutes of it, and then I got I did get it refunded. If I do like a significant upgrade in future, I might try it again, but for now, I'll pass. For now... Amazon. You're not playing Palworld, you're not playing Palworld, you're not playing Palworld, you're not playing Palworld. Who do I say I to? Yeah, you know what, actually, hang on. How about... Yeah, I throw it back to y'all. How about we read somebody new today? How about we check out somebody new today? Somebody I've not seen before. If y'all can suggest someone, I'm all ears. I'm not playing Palworld. Is there anyone else not playing Palworld I should know about? I mean, I'm not playing Palworld either. Iggy made? What's Iggy doing? FF14? I am gonna pass an FF14. He's been playing the game as like Pokemon, but not playing a ripoff. Cassette Beast? Yeah, I'm not saying stay in a while. Steam. Give me ideas, chat. I need the right kind of vibe. Last time you get past ads, so I can actually see folk. I have Chaos Duran playing Frostpunk. You have artists. Pokemon guns and all, but I don't use it. Okay, Taipando. Okay, I will say something. And I'm gonna... I hate defending them. But... we don't know... We still don't know. There's no confirmed proof that there's AI being used for Palworld. Yes, the lead dev... The lead dev is a big crypto and AI bro, but Palworld... as far as we know, is free of it. And I gotta give him that benefit of a doubt, right? No, for me, it's the issue is like, hell. The game's just boring for me. Wow, it's Ark, but with Pokemon. I didn't like the idea of Ark. It's Pokemon with guns. No, it's not, because Pokemon with guns would be a little bit more interesting, genuinely. Ad break starting. No, I'm gonna snooze you. Professor Slab. Who's Professor Slab? If Palworld has direct AI content not created with Steam would approve it. I do know that. That, like... Wait a minute. Ooh. Some good art. You know... I think I may have been overthinking it. Unless you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm right into you. You're on Palworld, too. Yeah, let's go ahead. Hang on, do you know I've not rated in a very long time? Sorry. You know I've not rated in a very long time. I've not rated Tay Takes Two Action in like sometime since last year. Using a surprise-a-thon. Yeah, let's right into it. Raid message. There's gonna be Golden Raid. Golden Raid. I will be checking out Slab. I'll check out some of these people. Chat, keep suggesting for me. Tuesday seems to be having a lot less people than normal. But yeah, let's go say hi to Tay. Let's go Vibe. Golden Raid. So I've seen Tay in like 15 of his streams. Tay hangs out in like every streams. He used to be a part of a group to, like, we're in a Discord which would, like, promote small streamers. Small VTubers. Speaking of, like, Discords, I have socials. I have a YouTube of my VODs. I have a Discord you can hang out in. I have a Throne as well. There's a link somewhere. I'll see y'all on Thursday for some Fear and Hunger, but for now, wish Tay a fabulous evening. I'm gonna go get some veg, because I'm tired. And make sure to read the rules if you've not been in her streams before. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna put my coat on. And until next time, good night.